early life was so proudly we hailed at the twilight that's gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular amongst birds singing out, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
Welcome to Inside the Gamecocks, the morning show, presented by the West Law Firm and Resto Pros of the Midlands, part of the Chief Sports Network, and proud partners of On 3, Go Gamecocks.
He'll be fine on the mountain.
Consecutive home runs for Carolina.
It is good. It's gone.
He's in. Touchdown. Williams with the throw of the play.
He's going to score. It's a walk-off.
Touchdown, South Carolina.
All right, greetings and good morning. Welcome aboard and welcome home inside the Gamecocks, the morning show presented by Resto Pros, who are there for everybody when they need them. Resto Pros of the Midlands, Resto Pros, MidlandsSC.com. The West Law Firm has been helping folks in this state for over 8 decades. Visit westlawfirmsc.com. Great Gamecocks over there. Great Gamecocks. Great Berkeley Stags, too. They got a big game coming up this weekend. And we just can't thank them enough for what they've done for so many people for so long. Visit westlawfirmsc.com. There is Smitty of Four Quarter Friday, a very busy Smitty because he's calling games on Friday nights. He's a big TV star now. Mm-hmm. And then he also, he's got a face for radio, but he can do the TV stuff. He's got TV. He's got digital with us. I think we saw him somewhere in Sports Center not long ago. He's all over the place, but we're glad he still remembers us. Just little old ITG here on Thursday mornings when he gets to join. We've got Clark Cox coming up at 10:20. Did you did pick up on what I was doing there? Little old. Who does that? There's a coach in this. It's just little old Clemson.
Yeah, just a little old Clemson up there.
It's a little old Clemson. But we got Clark Cox coming up at 10:20 this morning. Clark is the associate AD at South Carolina over facilities, and we're gonna talk to him about everything that's going on because we're 9 days until kickoff, and all of you get to walk in next weekend and see what they've done to Williams-Brice. Not done yet, as we all well know, but he'll walk you through all that. We'll talk turf. We always like talking turf. They've announced a couple of concerts this fall, Smitty, or one. And I'm sure that makes him and Tim Flanagan and those guys a little anxious, having to get the turf ready again for the football team. But so we'll go through all that with Coach Cox. We always get him. We get him twice a year, right before football and right before baseball. And we love these conversations. And so look forward to that. Perry Orth will be here at 11 o'clock this morning as well. And we'll talk plenty of Carolina football with him. JC and Phil, they'll both be in as well. And I'll get to a Gamecock report here in just a second. It's a lengthy one. But first, good morning, my friend. How are you?
Oh, good morning. I'm happy to be with you. And I'm getting the kickoff itch. Like now having covered some high school football, those games counted.
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, it's almost like I do this on purpose. I say to myself, well, college football season, it's a long way off. I'm not going to get too excited right now. I'm not going to dig. I can't, Saturdays have a certain feeling during the season, and then there's the off-season feeling. I tried to keep the off-season feeling, but I couldn't bottle it up. It's over. It's over. Like, now I'm ready. Like, now I'm beyond ready. I'm anxious. I was reading Wes Mitchell's piece this morning on Inside the Gamecocks about how the Kendall Briles offense may look at South Carolina. Obviously, you've got the film from previous stops, but these are different pieces. I think everybody knows you're not going to utilize Lenore Sellers the same way he's always utilized his quarterbacks in the past. And anyway, all of that going, to me, it was like a beautiful mind just in front of me, just playing out some of the things that Wes had written. So I encourage everybody to go do that, but also it really got me beyond ready early this morning. Beyond anxious.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you for a multitude of reasons. One, since December, we have been every week working hard around here to try to provide as much information as we possibly can, much like Wes did in his piece. Hey, look, this is where it's going now. This is where it's going. There's going to be a lot of passes within 5 to 7 yards of the line of scrimmage, and you're going to hear extension of the run game a lot and things like that this year. You're going to hear
mixed plays. That was mixed plays instead of RPO, which is something I wrote because I was watching a high school quarterback in our state who's really good with the RPO concepts. And said, okay, well now Kendall Briles is going to say mixed plays.
Yeah.
Instead.
Well, and I think that it's the same thing, but it's just
Right.
It's just a different term. I do think that the term, the 3-letter term RPO, while it is literally the same thing everywhere, it actually is utilized differently.
Yes.
Depending on which offense you're in, because you are adjusting the option to the quarterback. And yes, you have a run pass option, but sometimes while it might say run pass option, you actually have a pass run option, or you have a pass run option, or you have a, you know what I mean? So
no. What you're saying too is, by the way, I was thinking about this with Lenore Sellers. Your RPO may be the fake to the running back is built in.
Yeah.
Because the run, like what you're saying, it's a pass run option where if the tight end or the slot comes open, you're going to hit that. But if not, Lenore's, it's you. The running back is just a fake.
Right.
But in most systems, that's obviously a zone read, and that's your first read. But
Correct.
I could certainly see at South Carolina, you say, hey, we're going to utilize Lenore's legs early, going to break that out. So we're actually, it'll be a fake to the tailback. You're looking at the slot, and if the safety stays back, you're just going to take it and run. And in other words, it's different, like you're saying, based on personnel and then also who your coordinator is.
Well, that's right. And also the way that Kendall Briles offenses are designed is that even if you make a mistake in your read, okay, if you man, we should have handed it off there, or we should have thrown it to this guy, and the play doesn't work as well as it could have worked. His offense is designed to minimize the damage because they utilize so much space on the field. and they're very Steve Spurrier-esque. You're really dealing with a lot of matchups here, and so fans are going to see. It's not really exotic. It's more of you'll from time to time you're going to see Sequel Patterson or something who might be in motion, and all of a sudden he's lined up next to the quarterback, or maybe he's taking a direct snap or something like that. Well, we've got Lenore Sellers. Why should somebody else take a direct snap? It's because of a matchup that they see, and it's not like they don't try to overthink it. That's not the purpose or the point. I mean, this would be carefully evaluated before they just decide to do something like that in a ball game. But it's pretty unique. I mean, it really is pretty unique. And of course, I want to be careful too. Like, I don't want people thinking like, oh God, every play is going to go for 10 plus yards. This team's going to score 100 points. Like, no, that's not going to happen. But it is a system that is designed with grace. So if you make a mistake, if you make a read that's maybe you should have done this, but it's okay. We picked up 3 yards. We didn't take a sack there. We didn't get stuff behind the line of scrimmage. We picked up 3 yards. We could have picked up 7 or 8, but we picked up 3. You live to play another day. You know what I mean? You live to play another down. So I'm excited. I think everybody's excited to see it, and we're close. We're getting close. That's for sure. We do need to get a Gamecock report in, so let's get that in. Presented by our friends at Gamecock Traditions.
What's going on in Gamecock country? It's the Gamecock Report presented by Gamecock Traditions on the morning show. Visit GamecockTraditions.com or in Lexington and get your gear and apparel today.
All right. I'm still dealing with my voice a little bit here. It sounds okay, but we're getting there. We're still battling some illness, but it's coming. It's coming. All right. Today is a big day for the women's soccer team. They are out in Laramie, Wyoming, and they'll play the Wyoming Cowgirls this afternoon at 6 o'clock Eastern, so 4 o'clock Mountain Time. Up there, about 7,000 feet in the air or so. The ladies are currently 3-1. Now, hopefully they've been doing their breathing exercises and conditioning and things like that since they landed, because it's not easy to go from Columbia, South Carolina in the heat and humidity to 7,000 feet in the air and play in that thin air out in the mountains. My in-laws live out there. They're going to go to the game, as a matter of fact, today. I don't know who they're pulling for, but they're going. So good luck to the women's soccer program as they take on Wyoming later on this afternoon. The men's soccer team, they'll play that team in the upstate, who, by the way, is ranked 16th in the country, at Stone Stadium tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The men are currently 2-0 on the season. Volleyball, they'll open this weekend the Gamecock Classic versus UNC Greensboro, pardon me, at 7 o'clock on Friday. And then they'll play Northeastern at 1 o'clock on Sunday. There will be a bunch of students there getting those student points early in the season. If you plan to go, they're going to give you a free rally towel. How about that? Men's golf, they'll open the season next Monday at Tennessee at the Visit Knoxville Collegiate Tournament in Farragut. Is it Farragut or Farragut? I think it's Farragut, Tennessee. Gamecock football's practicing today, and guess what returns tonight? Carolina Calls. 7 o'clock, Carolina Calls tonight from Backstreet's Grill, just outside of 5 Points. So if you'd like to hear Shane Beamer for the first time in Carolina Calls this preseason, or the entire season, make sure you got your radio tuned in, or you can pull up the Gamecocks app. 7 o'clock tonight is when he and Todd will sit down to discuss the entire year and next weekend's ball game. Darius Gray has been named to the Sean Alexander Freshman of the Year Award watch list, that is presented to the most outstanding freshman in college football. Kind of surprising, he's the only one on the list. Just Darius Gray. No Currents, no Julian Walker, just Darius Gray. But Congratulations to him. Nolan Hay is also on a watch list, the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award watch list. It's the 14th annual Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award watch list. It recognizes the top offensive player in Division I football who exhibits the enduring characteristics that define Earl Campbell: integrity, performance, teamwork, sportsmanship, drive, community, and tenacity, specifically to persist and determination to overcome adversity and injury in pursuit of reaching goals. That's a lot of words. But congratulations to Nolan Hay for being on that list. Baseball has announced their 4 fall scrimmages officially. We pumped this out a couple of weeks ago that they would be playing 4 games. That has all now been released by the program itself. October the 9th, that's a Friday, against High Point at Founders Park at 4 o'clock. Carolina is on the road that weekend at Florida in football. Friday, October the 16th, Gamecocks are off, but they'll host the College of Charleston at Segra Park. That is going to be a ticketed event. Tickets will be going on sale for that game. Let's see. Pretty soon. I know that. I'll have to pull the date, and we'll get that back to. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Tickets for the College of Charleston, South Carolina scrimmage, Friday, October the 16th. If you'd like to go see that, you can get tickets starting tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Friday, October the 23rd, they got Winthrop at Founders Park, and then Sunday, November the 1st, Duke at Fifth Third Park up there in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Those are the 4 that will be played this fall by Gamecock Baseball. And then also, in case you missed it, the university yesterday released the Williams-Brice Stadium interactive map. There will be some gate changes this year. So you can go to the map. It'll show you which gate you should be going through. It'll show you where all the food is. It'll show you what's on the menu. It'll show you how much the beer prices are, how much the water prices are, how much the liquor prices are. It'll show you everything. Really cool. Hat tip to the University of South Carolina for publishing that. Obviously, with folks getting in and out of the ballpark a little bit different with the construction that has occurred and that will be occurring, they want to make sure they're communicating. So please, folks, if you have any doubt, go look at the map. And remember, download your tickets. Don't get to game day and then be calling the ticket office going, I don't have my tickets. Download your tickets. Get them in your phone because the paper tickets are no longer being issued, although I will say, Smitty, I will miss paper tickets. I've saved probably, I don't even know how many, since I was 5. I probably have, I don't know, hundreds. I got hundreds of tickets. So make sure that
now they'll be worth even more. I mean, not only, I don't mean on the open market, I mean just to you now, because that's it.
Oh, I've got scores written on the back of some of the bigger games and stuff like that. It's I've got a bunch from when, my dad passed when I was 9. So I have some that I was, before then when Dad and I were at games. Pretty cool stuff. That's it. Gamecock Traditions presents the Gamecock Report, GamecockTraditions.com. And if you want to go see them in the Midlands, go see them. It is a Nike superstore. Plenty of Nike gear there with the garnet and black, and it's hopping over there right now. They keep restocking and restocking and restocking. They've sold so much, but you can also order it and have it sent to your home. GamecockTraditions.com. All right, it's 10:17, so we need to slide to a timeout. When we return, we'll talk turf and facilities. Associate Athletics Director over Facilities, Clark Cox, he will join us for our annual preseason Carolina football conversation. Hang tight. The morning show presented by Resto Pros and the West Law Firm. We'll be right back.
If you own a home, don't wait on these home safety tips. Flush your water heater, clean your dryer vent, and inspect your roof annually. Don't forget to check washer hoses and caulk in wet areas. Visit RestoProsMidlandsSC.com.
A really common fear in a workman's compensation case is what's going to happen to my job if I report this injury? And my answer to that is you still need to report your injury. I'm dealing directly with the insurance company, and the insurance company is going to treat you like a file number. So let me make sure that doesn't happen to you. Let me get involved in your workman's compensation case.
Ryan Brewer Fence offers a variety of services ranging from fences and railings to columns. Our craftsmanship, experience, and service is second to none. Visit ryanbrewer.net today.
Why are you throwing all that money over the falls? If you're buying a Honda or Toyota, that's exactly what you're doing. Look at the Kia Sorento. Get a third-row SUV for $8,000 less than the Highlander. Toyota only has a 5-year warranty. JT's Kia has a 1,000,000-mile warranty.
Don't forget JT's Advantage Package. Oil changes, roadside assistance, and so much more.
Choosing a Sorento over a Highlander is a no-brainer. More features, better warranty, and you save over $8,000.
We're serious about saving you money.
Killian Road, I-77, or Greystone Boulevard.
JT's Kia.
Is this your golf game? It doesn't have to be. Visit McKellarEnterprises.org and improve your game today.
Do you carry? Carry responsibly with us. What could you lose from a self-defense act? Visit ProtectWithBear.com to find out more. ProtectWithBear.com.
This is inside the Gamecocks, under a Carolina sky, where we all want to be.
Under a Carolina sky is where I wanna be. Oh, 'cause sandstone's going wild, the best of the SEC. It's this town, it's this team, it's got a hold on me. Oh, I've had some of the best nights of my life. Under a Carolina sky. Under a Carolina sky.
Yeah, we get to be back underneath that Carolina sky next Saturday afternoon, a 12:45 kick at Williams-Brice Stadium. Welcome back. South Carolina Education Lottery presents our coverage of South Carolina football. Did you know that the University of South Carolina students have received more than 244,000 scholarships and grants funded by lottery proceeds since 2002? Visit sceducationlottery.com/education wins. We all win, and we've all won the lottery when Clark Cox shows up. He is the Associate AD over facilities at the University of South Carolina. He's been a pretty busy man since, well, he's always been busy, but since last football season ended, it's been full go nonstop. Glad to see you, my friend. How are you?
Glad to be here. Things are great. I hope you guys are well.
Well, I mean, what did we pull you away from this morning? Were you like, you know?
Well, I'll be totally honest. My birthday's next Friday, and my driver's license was going to expire. So I drove her to the DMV this morning off of Bluff Road and had that pleasant experience. I tell you what, I will say this: the DMV is not what it used to be. It was a really nice, well-oiled, really organized experience, and so not the DMV of old. So shout out to the South Carolina Department of Motor Vehicles for getting my renewal done. So that's kind of what I did this morning, and then came into the office. So
he must need a favor, Smitty. He's trying to pull some strings somewhere. He's got to compliment the DMV.
No, I have heard this story. Clark, don't try the one in Georgetown County. Okay, you stay right where you are.
Yeah. Well, that's good advice. I'll stick with the one here in Richland, right down the road. It's very convenient here at the stadium, but yeah, they did a great job. So
yeah,
hear a lot of hard stories, but
yeah, it'd be rough for the associate AD over facilities to go through one of those brew-throughs next week and not be able to get himself a cold beer because his ID's expired.
Yeah, well, I doubt that's going to happen anyway. I value my job too much, but not to say that the thought doesn't cross my mind. But maybe post game, get a couple hours after the game's over with, I might call my man Joseph Rich with Airmark, who's our concessions manager here, and see what he might have left over. So
they never tell you what you give up, do you? Okay, we'd like you to be associate athletic director in charge of facilities. That's great. You can never have a beer on a Saturday ever. Like, they don't tell you that in the interview, but that's the life we've chosen.
You know, I don't know if anybody's ever told me that directly. It's just kind of an assumption. So
It's just implied.
There's been plenty of wants for one, I can tell you that. But yeah, we typically wait till the work is done. So it's a good time. But yeah, it's here. It's hard to believe it's here.
Well, you know, look, for 270 straight days, every minute of 270 straight days, somebody has been working in that ballpark to get it flipped around as part of the Williams-Brice Reimagined project, and, of course, get it ready for game day. This is a multi-year project. We're going to talk turf here in just a little bit, too, but obviously, you know, this is a big deal, and people are excited to get in there and see it. I think the first thing, and I'll just open the can of worms, but let you take it from there because you know them all and you're up close and personal with them. But I know for a fact, because probably a dozen or more people have told me this, that the fine leadership and the folks who've been putting in all these hours from contract construction and everywhere in between, it probably couldn't have gone any better. I mean, this is as fine of a group of people as there is. They've worked their rear ends off, and they're doing it for the fans, to try to get these fans in there and enjoy in the ballpark and things like that. So I'll let you kind of comment on all the work they've put in and the job they've been doing.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head, Jamie. The day after the Clemson game last year, so you know that game was Thanksgiving weekend, Thanksgiving Saturday. That next morning, Sunday morning, there was an army of people here to begin work on the project, and from that day, I don't mean maybe Christmas Day, but beyond that, there's been someone here working every day, and they've done an excellent job. Contract construction, Greg Hughes and his folks, Leerica Lake, who's the manager of this job, has done an unbelievable job. Everybody involved, they work hard. They're good people. Most of them are Gamecocks, so they have some skin in the game, you know, and they want things to be right. So it's been an interesting off season with all that going on, but here we are. The season's here, and I think the fans are going to really be impressed with what they see. It was done in phase one, and it's going to hopefully. It touches a lot of people. You know, this phase really touched a lot of people that probably haven't had a whole lot of upgrades in their area, maybe ever, since this stadium was built. So we're excited. I'm excited for the fans to see that and have an opportunity to maybe have a little better experience in Williams-Brice Stadium come next Saturday.
Okay, let's kind of walk our way around the ballpark here. I want to commend the University of South Carolina, too, from the top down, with Jeremiah Donati, Wesley Mallett, Coach Bloom, everybody, Kent, everybody that's involved in putting out all the messaging right now. It's been pretty consistent for about 2 weeks. It's been coming in phases. Folks, make sure if you're a Gamecock Club member or if you get university emails, make sure you're reading that stuff. Don't get caught with your pants down on game day. Make sure you're reading it. It may affect you as far as where you enter, where the bathrooms are, where the food items are, all that type stuff. Download your tickets. Yep. Make sure that you're staying up to speed with it. Go to GamecocksOnline.com as well if you got questions, and get those answers before you get there. So let's start on the east side of the stadium.
Okay.
I heard Coach Beamer talking about it the other day. He said, women, you're going to love the bathrooms. So walk us through the east side with your eyeballs. When you walk through, tell us what you see.
Yeah, well, the first thing you're going to see when you come in is just how dramatically different things look. Over on that east side, there was a lot of just open space where there was really a lot of nothing underneath the upper east side. Now there's several buildings that have been built that house new restrooms, both for men and women, but we've really expanded our women's restroom capacity over there. Those are all good things. But in the front, we'll call it the field side of those same buildings, there's new marketplaces for concessions. So it gave Aramark, who is our concession provider, gave them an updated space to give them a little better, give them more ability to make their jobs a little easier rather than working out of some of the old concession stands that they had for years. But the buildings that you see, there's graphics over there that they're still finishing those up right now. But the east side is really, when you walk in over there, I think everybody's going to be really amazed at the difference, just how it looks. It's really going to change, I think, the game day experience. Obviously, we've talked about also over there on that east side, the visiting team locker room is going to be over in that southeast corner. So if you're looking at it, it's kind of underneath section 17 and 18 in that corner. If you're familiar with that, they'll now be entering the field from the tunnel that's between 16 and 17, which is typically where the visiting team fans are seated anyway. So it kind of gets them over in that corner. No longer will they be running across the field. When they take the field, they'll be running right out onto their sideline. So that'll be a very visible game day change. If you're used to sitting over in those areas, that area is going to be blocked off. That's directly underneath the stadium. That kind of becomes a visiting team bubble, so to speak, so that they're in their own spot. So I would encourage anybody who's over there, take a look at this map that we put out yesterday, which can be accessed through Gamecocks Online. I would encourage everyone also to download the South Carolina Gamecock Game Day app.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information on there that'll help you with your tickets, since we're all digital ticketing now. There's maps on there. There's a ton of information on there that will help people know where to go, what gate you're going to come in, and will give you a little better idea of the flow around the stadium. There are going to be some changes, and that's one of them over there in that area, simply because we have to have a visiting team area, not mingling with fans and things like that. So some necessary things we had to change, but I think they're going to be really neat changes. But yeah, east side, the restroom is probably going to be the thing that I think people are more happy about, and he hit it on the head. Women, I mean, there's lines over there. Hopefully, with the addition of these restrooms, will not be as long and torturous as some of the lines I've seen over the years in that area. So we're excited about the east side. That's probably my favorite part of this phase one, is what we did on the east side.
Well, Coach made the point to let everybody know that there were no ladies in the bathroom when he went in and checked, just to see what they looked like. I'm trying to remember. I mean, I've been obviously in the east side 1,000 times or more in my life. But so y'all had to build. There was nothing over there that you just renovated for the visitors' locker room. Y'all had to build one, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now, long ago, mm-hmm. I believe the home locker rooms were over there, as well as maybe the visitors' locker room. There's actually that kind of was part of the original locker room space, I think, when the stadium originally opened. And when I got here in 2004, some of that space was still being used for the officials' locker room. Mm-hmm. And then we moved the officials over to the west tunnel over here by the old visiting team locker room. But yeah, all that structure is a new structure. It kind of connects to what I'm going to call that inner tunnel that's directly underneath those sections. But the structure itself, the locker rooms itself, the for both the coaches and the players, there's a little training room over there. Again, nothing fancy, but something that gets them in a different spot. But we also did want to make that space, we hope to be hosting more than just football games here in the future. So we want those locker rooms to be functional enough that when if we do have another international soccer match, that locker room is nice enough for international soccer teams to use. Concerts could use that space for whatever reason. When this thing is done, when this entire project is done in 2 years, the hope is, moving forward, that Williams-Brice Stadium becomes more of a multi-use facility, more so than it has been. So we want to make sure that all the spaces that we're touching are set up for that. And so we took that route when we were doing the visiting team locker room.
I can't wait for the Eric Church concert in Williams-Brice. In the student section, anybody hear that out there? Who's in charge of booking the bands?
Yeah, we might need to reach out. Yeah. Let's. I'd be on board with that.
Okay, all right. We'll bring Darius too. That's fine. They can go. They can do this thing together. Okay, let's go to the students. Obviously, there are major changes that are coming for the students. Great changes over the next couple of phases as well, or I guess the next phase as well. But what is in place now for the students?
So if you're looking at the stadium, that's probably the biggest change right now. From just looking at the stadium from the exterior, from George Rogers Boulevard, you notice that the Floyd building is gone, and there's this large structure, concrete structure that's over in the north end. For this season, it's really just a concrete shell. So there's a concourse that was poured, which will eventually connect the east and the west on the what I'm calling the main level. But this season that is not online. But for this year, the underneath part of all that, number one, we ripped out all the old restrooms that were there. Some of the original, I believe, if I don't think I'm speaking out of turn, but those restrooms underneath the north end were, at least, the north end was not originally put in when the stadium was built in 1934. They were added a little later, but I'm pretty sure those restrooms were original to that part of the stadium. The troughs, if everyone come to know, there are no more. They're gone. So that entire tunnel underneath the student stands has gotten a facelift. It's a lot more open. There's more concession area under there, which will eventually leads to what will become the student club, which is underneath there. Next year, that'll be filled in, and it'll be a nice air-conditioned space for the students to go. This year, it's just going to be a covered space that, I still think it's going to be beneficial this year. We'll have some seating out there and a place for them to gather, more space, more room. If you've ever been down in the student section during a game, it can get pretty crowded. So that's a good thing to have that more space for them. But new restrooms for them as well. So upgrades for them in this phase, but even more upgrades to come in phase 2 for them.
Okay. Where the Floyd building used to be upstairs, long term, students will also be able to exit the student section to the top level, and that, in my understanding, is that's going to be a covered area with concessions as well.
Yeah, I think there's some concessions and restrooms that will ultimately be built underneath the scoreboard. So if you look at it now, you see the big the concourse type area that's up there that are in between. They're in between those. We've kind of got for this season we had to put up some temporary areas for filming, so camera platforms and things like that. You'll see that this season. That's not permanent. That's just for this year. Ultimately, in those areas where those temporary camera platforms are, will be some more concessions, permanent camera platforms, and restrooms up there on that level. But that'll be in phase 2. Okay. But yeah, ultimately that concourse area up there will be open to the students and as well as fans to traverse around, I believe.
But it's not open this year. Like
this year, it is not. No,
they have no access to that. Okay.
No.
All right. So on the west side, and I know next year phase 2 is probably the heaviest phase of this, if you will. Coach Cox, as Jeff Davis calls you. All right, walk us through the west side here, and if you can, I certainly don't want you speaking out of turn, like you said, but
so
in the areas that maybe if somebody looks at it and they're like, well, that doesn't look right,
Yeah.
kind of walk us down that road a little
Well,
bit.
I think the first thing, if you, from looking at the stadium from the exterior, you'll notice that the stadium has been changed on the west side. There's two stairwells there that go all the way up to the upper level, and they have stops for egress on all the levels. So the 200 level, the 100 level, the main. You'll see those stairs over there on that side. Those will eventually be flanked by some new elevators. One new elevator. There's already an existing elevator on the south end that goes to the 200 level, but you'll see those changes when you see it. It looks different. It definitely looks different if you're across the street at Gamecock Park looking back at the stadium. It looks different. Obviously, the ramp on the southwest was taken down. A new tower is being built in its place. That's very much there's a stairwell in there now, but eventually that becomes a new tower that will have escalators, new club spaces in it. But for this season, it is going to be just a stairwell. So that looks a little different. That's a big change over there on that side, just from a visual standpoint. West Main level, kind of like the East, we went in and took out the existing concession stands, put in more restrooms, both for men and women, upgraded restrooms, as well as several marketplaces. So these same thing. Hopefully, it's gonna make the experience of getting something to eat better. Gives Airmark a better place to store and prepare food, and so it looks a lot different up on the West Main. But there's more changes that are coming up there in phase 2. There'll be that concourse will be a little more open after phase 2. But for this year, there will be additional restrooms and the new marketplaces. So we're excited about that. I hope that should be a welcome addition for our fans as well. So on that level, and that's kind of where we are right now as far as phase 1. That pretty much encompasses everything that was done in phase 1.
Okay.
I'd be remiss to say we've added over on, one thing I didn't mention on the east ground is we've got a sensory room included in this project, several more family restrooms that we didn't have enough of. We've got a mother's room over on that side for mothers to use. Just a lot of little things that I think modern stadiums have that we didn't have before. So it allowed us that opportunity to include some of those things that we'll have more and more of as these phases complete, over the year or two.
There will be things going on throughout the season. It's not like people are going to show up on game day and there's going to be construction crews or anything like that. That's not what we're saying at all. But if you could just add a little bit to that for the folks, just kind of letting them know why that is, why y'all will be continuing to do stuff throughout the year.
Yeah, so if you think about the project's done in phases, but it's also one continuous project. So and a massive project. I don't think we can understate just what a massive lift this is. Number one, to do it, period, but to have to still be able, it's basically you're having to do most of the work in a 9-month period versus year round. So that's why it was done in phases. There are some things that can happen while we're actively in the middle of a football season. Probably not anything that anyone will even notice. You might ride by here on a week where we're on the road or an open week and see a crane or a lift or something. Maybe even during the week of a home game week. But on game day, all those things are going to be gone. You might see some temporary windscreen covering something up. You'll see some temporary gates. We have a lot of temporary gates this year that are in place because this whole process starts again, well, it never really stops. There's going to be things happening during the season, but there's a lot that has to happen in phase 2 that as soon as we're done with this season, the construction folks have to be ready to roll and just keep rocking. And there's a lot of things that happen in this next phase. It's probably, well, it's not probably, it is a bigger lift than phase 1 was. So if there's things that they can get ahead of and be doing during the season that don't affect how we operate putting on a football game, they're going to do that. And so that's what they're doing. Shouldn't be anything that affects anyone's experience on game day other than maybe seeing a temporary fence with a windscreen on it. And, it's, there's a lot that has to happen in here in the next 12 months. So anything that they can get done without having to just stop completely, they're doing it.
Okay. All right. Let's talk turf. Let's talk turf. We love turf around here. Right?
Yeah.
There's nobody in the country that has a better looking turf that's real grass than the University of South Carolina's football stadium, baseball stadium, softball stadium. It's the best. It's the best of the best. You'll give all the credit to Tim Flanagan, so I'll get out in front of you and doing that. Hat tip to Tim Flanagan and the entire crew, but obviously you have something to do with this. Are the end zones going to be garnet again? We'll start there.
We don't. I don't think I'm telling any secrets. We don't anticipate changing anything on the field as far as our paint scheme. Okay. That was a big change for us last year, and so we are not really changing that scheme up.
Okay, how many gallons of paint go into painting the end zone garnet?
I really don't know, Jamie. I should know. You need to get Tim on here. Tim could probably tell you. I am fortunately or unfortunately, I don't get to paint anymore. So depending on what day, I'm a little. My back's not what it used to be, but I always did enjoy painting for football games. It's probably one of the funnest things about the job. It's one thing that drew me to sports turf management was the first time I ever painted a football field. I was like, damn, this is pretty nice. I like this. This is fun. It's very rewarding. You get to start with a blank canvas and paint it, and it looks nice. But I don't get to do that anymore. I leave that to the younger guys and the guys that are more skilled than me. But Tim could tell you, it is a lot. I know that we went from buying garnet paint in 5-gallon buckets, which is kind of traditionally what field paint is sold in, to purchasing in totes, these big totes that are about like 100-gallon totes, because it's just so much more than what we had before. It's a little easier to handle, and a lot less buckets to deal with. So it's a lot, but yeah, that's the plan. I think is the field will look the same as it looked last year, and the guys have done a great job. It's been a challenge for them, for Tim and his staff, to manage Williams-Brice Stadium turf with all the construction going on, because we were limited for a long time with access, because things were happening. Basically, every entry point we had to the field, we had construction going on. So we kind of had to work around construction, but they were willing to work with us to help us get equipment in and out. And the guys have done a great job. Field looks great. It's played great for the first 2 scrimmages. Coach Beamer, appreciate him calling out the Tim and Blake for how the practice fields have been this year. They were in great shape coming into camp, and they're still in really good shape. Which that's just a testament to the job that Tim and his staff do. Whether it's Marcus Thurber and his staff over at Spring Sports, what we still call Spring Sports, but softball and soccer. Those facilities look great. Those fields look great. And then even over at baseball, for the fall, that field probably looked as good this summer as I've ever seen it look, for it to be the summertime. And so we were really happy to be able to have it looking really good for Coach Snall and his staff to come in here and get started. And Justin has been Justin Scurry, who we've talked about on here before. Justin, he had some surgery, and so we're hoping he's going to be back with us here in a couple of weeks. We're excited to get Justin back with us. He's been rehabbing a knee, so we're really excited to have Justin back. And I know nobody's more excited than Justin to get back with us. So he's excited, and we're excited to have. Those guys just do such a great job. Our entire staff does a good job. I want to shout out everybody. Rusty Austin, who's our director of maintenance, and his staff, they do an unbelievable job of repairing things. I mean, we have a lot of things that break and things that don't always work right. So Rusty and his staff do an awesome job of making repairs and planning, and Rusty's been right in the middle of all this stadium stuff, because you want the guy Rusty's a lot smarter than I am when it comes to systems and all the things that are here. So, we want to make sure he's involved with those decisions and moving forward. He's a guy that's got to work on things when they're not right. So, he and his staff do a great job. Our facility services staff do an awesome job, and they've been busting their tails and will be busting their tails right up until game time to get the stadium cleaned up and get things put in the right places. It's that's been a challenge, and will continue to be a challenge for the next week. As we try to get things that were displaced and moved around put back where they belong. But our staff is up to it, and they do an awesome job. So very blessed to have a great crew of folks that work with us in all the different areas. So we're looking forward to another great year.
I'm so glad that you said all that. And I would encourage fans, when they're around the ballparks, they see these folks out there, just tap them on the shoulder and tell them thanks. I mean, they work hard, man.
I tell people all the time this, and because when I was in the turf world, and it's true, turf world does not get enough credit for the job they do. But when I kind of came into this newer facility role, I said, well, I've learned that, most of the time when things look good, people do tell the turf guys that, hey, things look really good. Hardly anybody ever tells you, hey, the stadium's clean, or those restrooms were really clean, or those, the toilet's flushed today. Because everyone, I think, takes it for granted. I don't think it's because anyone, has anything against those folks that are doing those jobs. But it takes an army, and it takes a lot of dedicated guys and girls to put on a football game. And so it's especially in a facility that's even though we're upgrading it and modernizing a lot of things, it's still a pretty old facility. There's still parts of the stadium that are very old, and so we're managing that. Not only that, but every other facility, that we're responsible for, that our guys are responsible for. It's a lot. It's a heavy lift, and they do a great job. And I can't thank those guys enough for the job that they do.
Was there some pain?
Hold on. When you say that a lot of old parts of the facility, that Steve Fink left. You weren't talking about Steve Fink, were you?
No, it was not. Was not.
Okay.
Was not.
He was an old part of the facility that's now.
What is everybody doing around there without the Finker moseying around?
It's been interesting. Yeah, I was just thinking about him this morning. We were something that Steve always did. I got to figure out if debates is going to be on top of this particular thing that we were talking about. But yeah, say hello to Fink if he's listening.
I hope he is. There's not many people in the world that are finer than another coach around here, Coach Fink.
Yep,
Fink.
great.
Coach Muschamp first started calling him that, so we just kind of adopted it. Was there some paint done? Did they paint the light fixtures and stuff?
Yeah, that was another project that went. I'm glad you mentioned that, Jamie. That slipped my mind. But the light towers got a fresh coat of paint this year, and that sounds very boring and mundane, but given the size and the height at which the light towers, which to me are one thing that is iconic about Williams-Brice Stadium, are the light towers. You see those towers and you know where you are. You know what stadium you're looking at. And so, for somebody who's been around college football a long time, that's the one thing that always popped to me. Oh, that's Williams-Brice Stadium because of those light towers. They were had been a while since they'd gotten painted, and so we were able to get that done this season. We had a contractor come in and they started, I think, back in May, and they just finished up last week getting both sides. It was, as you can imagine, it's a challenge just accessing those, and so especially on the east side. The east side is, they had to work off of a crane to do a lot of that work, and so it's a real challenge. But man, they look good. I mean, it really. I've been looking at, I see all the warts because I'm here every day, and those kind of rusted looking light towers that weren't white anymore bothered me. So I'm so happy to have white, bright, popping light towers again.
So how do you? What do you do there? Do you just like draw short straws for who has to go all the way up there and grab their paintbrush and
literally? I mean, literally, they were working off of cranes in some of the east side because there's not really, there is access to get to the east upper the light towers on the east side, but it's I've never been up there. I can tell you that, and I don't plan to go up there.
No way.
It's not as easy. The west side, because of the press box, is a little easier access, and it was easier to do that work. The east side, man, I don't know. I'm not saying I'd never go up there, but it would have to be for a really good reason, because it's there's some climbing and some different things involved that I don't mind heights. I don't like getting to the height sometimes.
I do. I don't like. But you've been on top of the scoreboard, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been. I've been on the top level of the scoreboard. I don't think I was ever been on top of the scoreboard. I've been on top of the one at Founders Park, which is up there too. But
that's what I remember you saying. Okay,
yeah, that's probably I went up there, and that one was that was pretty neat to go up there. But yeah, so we're excited about the nice the light towers. I don't know how many fans will recognize it or notice it, but some of those that have a discerning eye will probably, maybe the first thing they see, the light towers look bright again.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll make sure that's the first thing I'm going to look at when I'm back in town next Friday, and I'll let you know what I think about it. All right. Final question here. I don't know. We've been flooded with comments, emails, things like that from folks who just haven't in person seen the Nike sign and the logo. How does it look in person?
I think it looks great.
Okay. Okay. I'm asking. I'm not trying to put you on the spot here. I'm just
the sign got the metal part of the sign got a paint job, and to me, I mean, it in person it looks fabulous.
Okay.
I think so.
Wonderful. Wonderful. There is a concert this fall, so I'm sure y'all are pretty excited about being able to flip the field over. That's going to be fun.
Yeah,
how do you do that?
Well, it'll be just like if you go back to when we had the Beyonce Jay-Z show back in, I believe it was 18. Very similar to that. That was about 10 days prior to our home opener. The difference with this one is it's kind of in the middle of the season, but again, that show's on a Thursday. We'll play, Saturday the week after that. It's not uncommon. We have a plan. We started talking about this way back when it was a possibility. Probably in the spring was when it was first brought to my attention. And hey, can we pull this off? Is this something we can do? And got together with Tim Flanagan. Tim and I discussed it, and given the technology, the type of grass that is out there, this is pretty common practice to be able to flip a field and play on it relatively quick. I think we've talked about it before, but for those who aren't aware, the sod that's being used in these type of quick turnarounds, it's a sod that's grown on plastic, and it's really thick. It's very heavy. You're talking about a solid 42-inch roll. There's no split in it. It's a solid 42-inch roll that's about 1.5 to 2 inches thick. And so the sheer weight of the sod is what you're not dependent upon rooting. It's just the weight and how they butt, the ends are butted up, everything's stuck together. Common practice that's used in the NFL. In fact, we've done it out here. It's not a big deal because people don't know it, but almost every year we end up doing some sod work in the corners where the team runs out because we have so much wear. Some years we'll actually do the midfield logo during the season, and people don't notice it because nobody knows about it really, and so no one notices. But this will be the same thing. It's just obviously on a much larger scale. But we feel really good about it. We've got the grass, and it's held for us, and so we've got kind of the same plan in place that we had a couple years ago when we did it. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but it'll be fun.
Well, man, we've taken up probably too much of your time. I'm sure somebody's looking for you and trying to get your attention over something, but we're ready to go. Can't wait I was up there last weekend, or not this past weekend, the weekend before, and had a chance to kind of mosey around, putt around, and it really looks just wonderful. I know that they're still doing things and stuff like that, but I can't believe they've done all this in 270 days. So,
yeah,
hat tip and congratulations to everybody who's worked their butts off on this project from within the university and obviously from outside of it. And I'll say thank you on behalf of all the fans, because I sure hope the fans understand that these people are working for them, trying to get it ready for them. It's a big deal. Absolutely, yeah. We really I think everything we do is fan focused. So that's always student athlete and fan focused. I mean that's where we butter our bread, and that's always our goal, is to make sure that we're improving things for both of those folks. Well, you've improved us today. This show sucks until you get on it, so we really appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Anytime. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, we'll holler at you soon. I'd love to see you. See you there. There you go. Clark Cox, the Associate Athletics Director over Facilities at the University of South Carolina. All right. We didn't get you in much today. Do you want to stick around for a segment with Perry Orth?
Well, I've got to go.
Oh, man.
There's so much happening, and I want to encourage everybody, get over to fourquarterfriday.com right now, because we are still getting updates about games being shifted, and there are games that I've got my eye on, and we're in contact with athletic directors, potentially games that could go from Friday to Monday based on the radar.
Oh.
So a lot of that is happening, and there's some great games. JB, you'll love this. Oceanside Collegiate's playing at Johnson Haygood this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Somerville and Hillcrest are at Serene Stadium in Greenville. So Hillcrest is having a turf issue. We could have talked to Clark about that. But that actually shifted the Somerville-Hillcrest matchup to Serene Stadium, historic Serene Stadium. Love that. And Northwestern Indian Land are meeting at Bank of America Stadium. So in addition to all these great matchups, great teams, we've got Spartanburg Greenwood, we've got Dorman Burns, we've got Abbeville playing Strom Thurmond, 1A Power versus 2A Power at Abbeville, Nichols Heights Stadium. But so many great venues this week, and we're going to keep you up to date at fourquarterfriday.com about which ones might go to Thursday, which ones may go to Monday, which ones are going to stay on Friday night. So we've got a chance, me and Rob at Four Quarter Friday, to get our eyes on maybe 3 games apiece, depending on how all this shakes out.
Well, y'all are doing a killer job. There's so much up over there right now, and Wanda's 1-0. Going to be, I think, 2-0 after this weekend.
And
Northwestern's 0-1, and we're 1-0. Yeah,
is 1-0, 14-7. So the teams that you are tracking closely, they've got the JB rub right now. They are rolling.
I'm gonna go over there and watch them again tomorrow night. Actually,
and you mentioned Berkeley. Berkeley looked fantastic in week 1, 36-0 win over Stratford. I know that felt good. I know they like that. Now they go to Fort Dorchester. So Berkeley is a team. What's really fun about this season, I think, is there's so many teams that we're watching. Like, oh, maybe Loris is better than we thought. We thought Newberry would be in a rebuild because of the players they lost. They might be really good. Looks like Berkeley's good again. And there's some teams like that. Spartan High might take a step up. Hillcrest lost to Dorman, but they They gave them everything they wanted. They're better maybe than you think. So it's not just the Powers, the Northwesterns, and the Dutch Forks that we're watching. There are a lot of teams that are like right there simmering one rung below the top of the ladder that have got big games this week, and we're kind of keeping an eye on that could be championship contenders, maybe better than we thought they were going to be.
The best coverage out there, fourquarterfriday.com. Smitty, thank you, brother. Great to see you.
Now, thanks, man. I had fun with you guys.
You're the man. There you go. All right, we'll slide to a timeout. Perry Orth when we return.
If you own a home, don't wait on these home safety tips. Flush your water heater, clean your dryer vent, and inspect your roof annually. Don't forget to check washer hoses and caulk in wet areas. Visit RestoProsMidlandsSC.com.
The road to success, well, it isn't always a straight one. I tell my kids every day before dropping them off at school, don't take this for granted. Tuition assistance from the South Carolina Education Lottery helped me go back to school when I needed to make a change. And I'm so grateful because now I am where I'm supposed to be.
Better opportunities means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
Do you carry? Carry responsibly with us. What could you lose from a Self-Defense Act? Visit protectwithbear.com to find out more. Protectwithbear.com.
Troy Branham of Golden Gate Mortgage can help you save big today anywhere in South Carolina. Over 27 years experience. Visit ggmortgage.com. Troy Branham of Golden Gate Mortgage says go Gamecocks.
Dry Space Crawl Space Solutions are your local home protection experts. Crawl space encapsulation, sump pump and drain installs, humidity control, duct cleaning, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and French drains. We do it all. Visit dryspacecs.com. dryspacecs.com. Go Gamecocks.
If you have experienced water damage, storm damage, fire or smoke damage, or need mold remediation, you need Resto Pros of the Midlands. Visit RestoProsMidlandsSC.com and go Gamecocks.
Subscribe to FourQuarterFriday.com. High school sports coverage in South Carolina. Part of Rivals on 3. And the Chief Sports Network. You're tuned into Inside the Gamecocks Morning Show, part of the Chief Sports Network, proudly presented by the West Law Firm, and brought to you in partnership with Resto Pros of the Midlands. Go Gamecocks!
Yeah, we are 9 days away until South Carolina plays football. Welcome back. Thanks to Clark Cox for joining us there in hour number 1, giving you an update on Williams-Brice Stadium. Hour 2, powered by Electric Bikes of Charleston. And he didn't make me cry this week, thankfully. Perry Orth, our quarterback, returns from a wonderful event last Friday night with Steven Garcia down in Florida. Man, how was that whole thing? And getting to see Coach Spurrier and John Gruden and all that stuff too, but obviously being there for your boy, Steven Garcia.
Yeah, it was a great event, man. Just the love and the outpour that not only South Carolina fans have done, but other coaches across the country. They've played a nice compilation of videos of different coaches that know Steven, that have recruited Steven, that have a relationship with him, from Coach Chesney at UCLA, Coach Sweeney, Coach Joe Connolly at Arizona State, strength coach that was our strength coach at Carolina back in the day. And yeah, it's just it's phenomenal to see the level of support that he has. And he's doing great spirits. It was awesome to hang out. Obviously, we didn't sit around and be like, oh, what was it? It was just like normal. He just happened to be a few pounds lighter.
Yo.
And he wasn't drinking. So it's good time, and yeah, I'm ready for him to beat this thing's tail and hopefully get up to Columbia in November to come to a game with us.
Yeah, so let's throw him in the cockaboose and have him hop out and get the Gamecocks going before the ball game or something like that. That'd be something to see. He's it's pretty incredible, man. This whole thing is incredible. I actually watched the speech the other day that Gruden gave at that event, and dude, I mean, I that's what I love, that like the positive, like people who are just negative all the time. Like, I'm good, I'm done. You can move on. You don't need to be around me. And Gruden's like, we're going to kick this thing's ass, basically. Like, you got to wake up every day and you got to have this great attitude. He's going on and on and on. And that's what you got to have, with anything in life, especially when you're dealing with life or death, like Steven's been dealing with. That was, I bet, being there when he started going down that rabbit hole. I'm talking about Coach Gruden here and giving that speech. You had to have goosebumps.
It was amazing, man. And it was, because, he's now on Barstool, and he's really, his fame has only elevated over the last 12 months. And I've seen a bunch of different things of him talking about, whether he's at a boys' bachelor weekend and they're doing, he's getting them pumped up in the clubhouse before they go and play 18, or he's addressing a college team, or he's doing whatever that is. He's a great speaker, and it was awesome. He's got Steven's full support. It was really cool hearing how they met back when Gruden was the head coach at Tampa. He used to run like a high school QB camp of kind of the top players in the Tampa area, where he'd kind of put them through drills, get them on the board, kind of do a Gruden camp that we've all seen on YouTube that he's done with some of the draft prospects. He used to do that with the high school kids. So, and then now with Steven training kids in Tampa, they've got a great little friendship relationship. So it was a great event. And Coach Spurrier, he's unbelievable, man. He's just one of a kind. He gets up there and talks about the last time he spent a lot of time in Tampa. They went 0-14. Obviously had everybody laughing because he was on the team that went winless.
Yeah.
And then he made a joke that he felt that Steven looked better now than he did when he played because he didn't have all that hair. That was like a big battle that I don't know if a lot of people know about, is that Steven wanted the long hair with the facial hair, and Coach hated that. There's some fantastic war stories of them before Georgia games. Coach Spurrier threatened to not play him if he didn't shave his face. And if you go back and look, 2011, Steven playing Garcia, nice clean shaved face. So he's a trip. Now I got to say hello to Coach and Miss Jerry, and great to see them. And Coach's mind is just so sharp. And we were watching, they were running the Alabama game, and I was chatting with him and catching up, and he said, "Yeah, you weren't there yet. You were still just a high schooler."
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, just to look at that game, know 2010, and talking to me, knowing that I was after, just cool, man. So good experience, and it's a great nonprofit. They have massive plans with that organization, quarterback health, and once he beats it, it's going to be really cool to see Steven step into his calling, which is, training high school quarterbacks, but he's going to be able to use this as a testimony for other people. And it's great. It's a great event.
Well, credit to you for being there. I know that meant a lot to Five, and appreciate you doing what you did for us too last week, even though the whole surprise thing, I'm not good with those. So I don't do that again. But the rest of it, you're good.
I hope I don't have to.
No. Next time it just needs to be, hey man, when you get into Columbia, so we can, go to 5 Points Social, go hang out at Strick's Bar or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're 9 days till kick, man, and so here we go. Pretty much all the decisions have been made. They're turning to start getting ready for Kent State, and for the season, mock game prep and game week and all those things that you remember quite well as a former player in this program. Perry, I think that that there's some pretty optimistic brains inside of that ballpark right now. I think that they're trying to do their best to keep as much as they can low key. And it certainly seems like Coach Beamer and this group have kind of slipped back into where they were a couple of years ago of, hey, we're going to show them. We're going to show them. Everybody, let's just stay focused, do your job, and let's go show them. Have you gotten that vibe? Have you received that vibe?
No, I have, and I'm not. I'm just out of protection of the program and continuing to be invited back to practice. Which, by the way, I was welcomed with just gracious arms, and I'm not even a famous player, right? Just a guy came, played, did his time, did his thing, and the amount of coaches and support staff and welcome back and please come back more, and just the graciousness of me coming back to attend practice. I was there for 45 minutes. It was awesome. It was cool. Coach Beamer's really and staff are making a concerted effort to invite former guys back to not be in the meetings and in the weeds of it, but come back, be around, show your face. It's good for this day and age in college football. So I appreciated that. But I'll tell you one thing I saw. I get out there and I'm texting my friends and I say, guys, we are huge. Like this team, and Ryan Brewer was out there. I was like, am I missing something? Like, have I just not been out here in some time? And they're like, no, this is a big team. And then there's that tweet that went circulating that we're like the fifth largest by weight, fifth largest team in the country just by pure size, which again doesn't mean anything. There are a lot of years when I was in school where we were some of the smaller teams from a size perspective. This is a big bunch, and there's a sneaky confidence about this offense. I have a friend of mine that's on staff. I coached him, or trained him, I should say, when he was in high school. Todd Haney, shout out to Todd. He's on the offensive staff. And he loves what they're doing. He loves it. The efficiency, the tempo, getting the ball out of Lenore's hand, doing his thing. And Todd's a very, very critical football mind. If this gets to Todd, he will tell you he's very critical of offensive philosophy, play calling, strategy, scheme. He loves what they're doing. Also, having heard little rumors that the offense has won so far in camp over the defense. So all great signs, because it was opposite this time last year. So, I was talking to a really good friend of mine last night, and I was like, man, you got your goggles on? Because mine are stuck to my face right now. And I'm just seeing South Carolina playoff appearance, but I'm going to temper my expectation.
That's okay.
I'm excited to have them back. I will tell you this, at this stage of camp season, I really want us to play well against Kent State. You go back and look at Georgia State. You go back and look at Old Dominion. You go back and last year against a really bad Virginia Tech team. We did not play well. Opening drive last year and then the punt return by Bakari Swain, obviously the deep post to Harbor. So you're looking at 3 plays, or I guess kind of 3 sequences, if you will, that really made the game kind of go in our favor. But overall, the game, we really didn't play all that well. I'd love to see us come out and look really sharp and efficient. That would be right up the alley of setting the tone for the season. Defense comes out, gets a sack on the first third down. Offense is moving the line of scrimmage, efficient, no massive big plays, just 10, 5, 6, 12 touchdown, right? Would love to see that. That's really all you can hope for, is not come out and score 14 billion points, but look clean, take care of the football, tackle, wrap up, move the chains, all of those things that are signs of a good football team. That's what you hope for. Because you go back and then you look at the South Carolina State game. I mean, JB, you and I were texting during that game. Like, what are we missing here? We're dysfunctional on offense. Defense was obviously destroying. Without the 2 special teams touchdowns, the game was bleak. And I know the rain and all that stuff and the pushing back the kickoff was delayed and kind of jacked up the flow, but still, you should never come out and look like that. And I've been part of teams that have looked like that, and you should never do that. So, very efficient offense, striking good, consistent, positive yards, positive plays, and I think that I think we can do that. I think that that's what Kendall Briles is going to bring. And then last thing is he has injected confidence from what I've heard into the offense thus far in camp. His mentality is, I've been good everywhere. Why would it not be any different here? So we've got guys that we've got the right pieces in place. The internal talks, I will tell you from within the program, and they're flying under the radar and they love it, is we've got the most talented team and the best coaching staff since Coach Beamer's been here.
Yeah.
Now let's see if we can turn it into wins.
Well, you put a lot into that I think are all really good points. Number one, and I don't know why it is, and he's only lost one, but the season openers under Coach Beamer really haven't been good at all. I mean, even the first game they beat Eastern Illinois 46-0, and if you remember that ball game, it was sloppy. And the next week it was still kind of sloppy, and they had to escape up there at East Carolina. It's been tough. Starts have been. They did lose that North Carolina game in 2023, which is the only season opener that they have lost, and you wonder. It's something I didn't even ask Coach about when I had him on, so maybe I should have. But what have they changed? What has he learned as a head coach? Now that he's gone through 5 of these, and you look back and you go, all right, obviously preparing. Everybody's game one's going to have mistakes. Every team in the country is. Nobody's going. I watched high school football last week. Nobody looks clean in week 1, but how do you minimize that so you're at least a step or 2 ahead of where you've been in week 1 in the last few years? And as far as the offense goes, and you mentioned the confidence level, I mean, you played for the most confident coach of our generation, Steve Spurrier. And I know he was hard on quarterbacks specifically, but he's hard on everybody. I know he could come in there and go, well, you're just not very good today. We're going to put you on the bench, and he could shoot you in the foot. But also, once you got him figured out, right, Perry, you played like he coached. Like, you kind of walked out there and the tail was wagging a little bit. And I think that's been missing here at South Carolina. And Kendall Briles, he's got some Steve Spurrier in him. I mean, you've seen him. So you walk us through that relationship, how that can pass down to a guy like if Lenore Sellers is playing with confidence, that can be scary for the opponent.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, confidence it's the number one trait and or feature that you have to have as a quarterback, a play caller, and then ultimately it rolls downhill. Like, everything from a leadership perspective, it goes into the subordinates of organizations, teams, players, etc. That was the missing piece last year, and I will tell you, in my opinion, that was the missing piece in the beginning of 2024. I think we had it with Spencer, but we struggle on defense early in 23. But you saw what confidence does. You just light Tennessee on fire, beat Clemson, play really a great bowl game. We just kind of ran out of steam there. But confidence is massive, because if you go out thinking like, I'm hopeful that I succeed or complete this pass or move the line of scrimmage, it's tough, right? You've got to expect to play well, and when you're offensive coordinator and you're really the CEO of the offense is, hey, we're about to F crap up today. That gets into your chest, and you're like, we got a shot. That was the thing. 11 years now since I got done playing for Coach Spurrier, and didn't matter what year, what game, who you were playing. When you laced it up and you rolled out the ball for opening kickoff, you're like, you know what? We got a shot today.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter who you were playing. So it's the number one key for any offensive coordinator to make sure that they're getting their team ready to go.
Well, I think it's okay to kind of dream big right now. Like I know that you are, you want to be cautious. I think we need to be, me and JC and us. We get, believe it or not, we get blamed when these guys lose. Like we actually get to go out there and play the games. But so I want to be careful with my words and things like that too. But Perry, I look back at just a year ago, and you say, all right, well, defensively they were solid. They had some tough days and some tough drives and some moments they'd like to have back, but overall they were solid. And there is zero sign that defense has gotten worse. I mean, they've gotten better. They're certainly deeper, and they've added talent in the right spots. And then you look at the offense and you go, all right, well, that was pretty bad. I mean, about as bad as it can really be, other than 1999 around here. And so if you had a marginally better offense in 2025, I'm talking about marginally better here. That offense averaged, the offense itself scored 15 points per game under Coach Shula. Like, that's bad, especially when you got Lenore Sellers. And you're going, all right, well, if they just could have scored one more touchdown a game, just one, and got themselves to 21 or 22 offensive points per game, you're talking about minimum 6 wins, if not 7. So I'm looking at this going, all right, Coach Beamer spent all these months saying, we really aren't that far off. And most people are looking and going, yeah, you are. But I think I know what he was saying. Like, if we could just fix just a little bit. So if they've got just that much fixed, I think it's okay to look at this and say, well, you know what, this football team actually could be very good, and maybe a lot of people are missing this.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I mean, it wasn't far off. It was some consistency. It was really confidence, right? Mm-hmm. I think a couple of the changes they made by basically restarting on the offensive line is, and they feel very confident about this O-line. They're very excited about what they're capable of and what they can do.
Well, hold on. Stop there real quick. Let's get football brain Perry in here real quick. Why? Because the nobody's seen it. I'm not questioning you. I'm asking you to maybe expand on that from a football standpoint here with a new offense, new scheme. What builds confidence with this new scheme? You've seen a little bit of it and you understand the sport. Can you dive into that some?
Yeah, so talk about the offensive line right now. Offensive line is veteran. They've played football and have played well. Okay. That breeds confidence. Now, the biggest question mark is how do they gel as a unit together in live action? That's something that yet to be determined. We won't know that till they turn the lights on in Williams-Brice in 9 days. But number one, again, I want to go back to confidence. Number two is that Coach Browse is going to give Lenoris the keys to a vehicle that is going to let him drive this car the way it's meant to be driven. So it's not going to be drop back, pure progression, Drew Brees, right? X right, Z, Y, trip, 97, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be much like what it was with Coach Spurrier. It's going to be a couple one-word name calls, protection, motion, play, cadence, go, call it, and go. And when you simplify the really the mental requirement that you have on the quarterback, hey, this is your read. It's 1-2, check down or run. 1-2, check down or run, or 1, check down, run. You take a lot of the thinking out of the equation. That's why, in my opinion, we've talked about it over the years. You've heard some of the pros talk about it, that pure progression pass game it requires a lot of thinking, and it can be good. I've gone from I hate it to it can be good, but it requires a lot of thinking. And if that is not something that that you're ready to put onto a quarterback, it can be a bear, and then you can get twisted up on coverage, thinking it's coverage here. Now you're just going 1, 2, 3 and across the formation. Then you get stuck on reads, holding the ball too long, and then you go. The counter argument to that is the coverage, the coverage debate, right? Pre-snap read, right? Open middle, close middle. If you got open middle, you work right. Close middle, you work left. Post snap, they rotate. But that in my philosophy, maybe it's just my understanding of the game, what I was coached, was even if you get post-snap rotation, there are indicators that you can see pre-snap to determine, like, okay, hey, you got Sam inside of number 2, right? Probably staying in open middle. Hey, Sam, Nichols outside of number 2, right? Here comes the safety to rotate to fill that gap. Then you're going, okay, left side, I'm working curl flat to my check down, or I'm working corner hitch to check down, or whatever the read is. I just think that it simplifies it a lot. And then the other thing too is RPOs. RPO is, hey, if he turns his hips and runs, throw. If he stays there, give it. If you get stuck in between a throw and a run, you take the ball, follow your running back, and turn it into quarterback lead.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that I have been told and what we've seen from Kendall Briles. And then the other thing too, going back, we've talked about this. Go back, look at his time when he was at Arkansas, what they did with KJ Jefferson versus what they did with Josh Hoover last year.
Right.
2 totally different offenses, same coordinator. That bodes well. That bodes well for any offense, any quarterback, and then ultimately the team overall.
I think one of the things that I was talking to Smitty about this at the beginning of the show, that because Briles' offense, Perry, it calculates every inch of space that is available on the field, and like I know that they love the term. Smitty brought it up earlier. Mixed plays, which is RPOs, mixed plays and RPOs. It's the same thing, but what he's getting at is, or what we were kind of getting into was, okay, let's say that Lenore's doesn't make the right read there. You know what I mean? Like let's say maybe he should have thrown it instead of handing it off or taking it himself, or vice versa, or whatever. It's an offense that's got some flexibility for mistakes because you are using space on the field. Like, you're not so bunched up and you're clammed up to where, like last year, if one guy missed a block or whiffed on an assignment or whatever it was, the whole freaking thing was blown up. And I'm not saying that that's not going to be the case in the SEC. It obviously can happen, and it does happen to every team, every game. Somebody screws up and the play blows up. But there's a little bit more flexibility in this with him and how much motion and spacing that he uses, and looking at the matchups. They'll play matchups like Coach Spurrier used to do. This guy can't cover this guy, so we're going to put him here and we're going to run this play. Can you? I know you got to run, but can you expand on that a little bit more? How it provides the quarterback a little bit of grace, if you will, to be able to make a mistake or two, but still be able to make a play out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that was another thing Coach Spurrier did so well, was like when I was playing, how many times did you guys go back in time, and how many times we had Farrell out wide in the slot in the backfield, handing them the ball. There were so many different things that you do to get playmakers to the football. And that's, what Coach Briles does, incredibly well. But then when you've got a play called to beat a certain coverage and you've got a matchup that you really like, right? That, again, it makes it feel like somebody else is supporting you in your efforts of moving the ball down the field. When you can't run the ball, you're like, oh my God, I've got to make this throw. I've got to put it here. I've got to make it all about, not make it all about me, but it's all on me to move the team forward. And I just don't think that's not how his offense is set up. It's set up to get the ball out of his hand and let guys make plays in space. To your point, use the field. It's there for a reason. Nobody said you had to play between the hashes, right? That's a little bit of an old school, true NFL mentality of, hey, we're going to get in tight, get tight formations, and then expand out, right? Really control the line of scrimmage, make teams go one, open middle, closed middle. But in college, right, these kids are still developing. They're like, I know it sounds kind of dumb, but their brains have not finished developing themselves. And so you don't want to put the weight of the world to go out and outsmart people, especially when you've got someone as gifted as Lenoris as your quarterback. You let him be more athletic than others. The NFL, when he gets there, the NFL will develop him on what they do. But here, let him be more athletic than others. Get the ball to Fuller in space. Like, one of the things that we did when I was coaching was simple as 3 receivers to the left, jet motion, the back out, catch, flip, and now you've got 3 blockers with running back with the ball in his hand in space, and go make people miss, right? Your number one rule is ball carriers. You've got to make people, the first guy he can never bring you down. I don't care if I'm running the ball or Matt Fuller's running the ball. You got to make the first guy miss. And so he's going to do that. And I'm expecting to see a lot of that in game one to develop that consistency. You've heard me say it over the years, JB.
Yeah.
Number one rule going into a game is how fast can I get the quarterback comfortable and in the rhythm of the game. If you don't do that, it's a long day. But if you do, go back and watch the first half of the A&M game. It was quick pass, bam, 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 bam. Next thing you know, we score, next drive, deep ball touchdown, and we're like, hey, we're in this thing. We're back. Right? And obviously we collapsed of epic proportion, but first half was great offensively.
Well, man, you do it as well as anybody. It is always such an honor and a pleasure to have you on. My good buddy here, Perry Orth. Next week, we get to talk about the football game, the actual football game that will be played next Saturday at Williams-Brice Stadium against Kent State. Great to see you, my man. Great to see you. Good stuff as always. And thanks for not making us all choke up this week.
Sounds good. Maybe next week. We'll see.
Okay. That's fine. See you, brother. There you go. All right, it's 11:34. Hour 2 is brought to you by our friends at Palm Casual. PalmCasual.com, providing our Gamecock coverage for the third straight year. The best outdoor patio furniture that you can find. If you're going to stay home and watch the Gamecocks play this season, be comfortable outdoors. Be comfortable with Palm Casual lifetime warranties and guarantees. PalmCasual.com. JC and Phil, fresh out of hair and makeup when we return.
Subscribe to thebigspur.com. Proud partners of On3.
Gamecock Traditions is your Nike superstore and your home for anything and everything with a South Carolina logo. Visit us in the Midlands and order online at GamecockTraditions.com. Go Gamecocks!
Looking for thrills? Then welcome to the South Carolina Education Lottery, where every chance at a win comes with a chance of a whiff.
Wait, what? What does she have to be so happy about?
Well, quite a bit, Jeff. That face right there, that's a face that says fun. But when the game stops being fun and that face goes away, it might be time to take a break.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks. Mystery voice?
No problem, Jeff. Playing for fun makes you a better player, and a better player is a better you.
You know, in Gamecock Country, home truly means more. And whether you're buying or selling a home, Renee Fryer brings local market expertise and personal care to every move because it means more. Mike here for Renee Fryer with Home Advantage Realty. No matter where you are in the state of South Carolina, she will make sure you have the advantage on your side. That's Home Advantage Realty, and that's Renee Fryer, always an easy phone call away. 803-271-4777. Make sure you have the home field advantage with Renee Fryer of Home Advantage Realty.
Whether it's fireside or poolside, if it's time to watch the Gamecocks, Palm Casual will make your outdoor space the best it can be. Visit palmcasual.com and come see us at one of our South Carolina locations. Go Gamecocks!
Today and every day, we celebrate our great state of South Carolina. This week, our hometown highlight takes us to the PD in Lake City, home of the great Darla Moore and our friends in Johnsonville. We love the PD.
Hey guys, this is Mason West with the West Law Firm. We want to say hey to all our friends and family out in Lake City and the Johnsonville areas. This is a great football part of the state. We can help y'all out in any way. Give us a call, 843-897-7525.
You're tuned into Inside the Gamecocks, presented by the West Law Firm and Resto Pros of the Midlands. Part of the Chief Sports Network. Go Gamecocks!
11:38. Welcome back. The morning show brought to you by the West Law Firm and Resto Pros. There they are, fresh out of hair and makeup, or at least hair for JC, makeup for Phil. Welcome back. Appreciate Perry and Clark and Matt for joining us there and putting right along here, getting closer and closer, and this, that, and the other. Yep. Well, this, that, and the other. Hey, JC.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good to see you.
We're just living the dream around here.
That's right.
Marching towards kickoff. Finally got my my top 10 up yesterday. Painted a rosy picture for all of the diehards out there, but I do believe it. So I think this is it. I'll call my shot here, JC. And if they fail to live up to standards, then I'll just get attacked by a bunch of people I don't know, and I guess they'll cancel me.
It's a sign of being.
Isn't that how it works?
It's not, pimping ain't easy, man.
Let them try.
You know, I mean, that's you got there's haters, but I think that people that are irrelevant don't have haters.
Well,
so I would rather have haters than be irrelevant. So
that's right.
I'm more relevant here than I am in my own house. I'll tell you that.
I don't know. I got haters here. No.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding.
I have haters in my house too. My turtle, like, I got on Chat GBT the other day and was like, "Do turtles hate?" And I got this really empathetic, like at the beginning, it was like, you're not going through a mental health crisis, are you?
Oh,
don't feel bad. Your turtle actually loves you, but turtles don't actually love. They don't really have emotions, but they do recognize humans when they feed them. And so they are attracted to you in that way. But I'm sure your turtle doesn't hate you. And I was just like, because, you know, the turtle's frowns at me when I'm not feeding it.
Well, I mean,
turtles daggers for you, bro. I've seen the way it looks in these.
It's 1,000 words worth of answering that question. I was like, yeah, it's taking over. Good
answer. There's a lot going on there.
Do turtles hate?
Tonight,
do turtles hate? We'll just look into the dark hearts of the turtles.
I can't believe you asked that question.
Yes.
I was just messing around.
Nah. You were dead
not really.
serious.
That's right. Hate me.
That's right.
Nah. I think she hates me. Let's ask ChatGPT.
Nah, I think you were. I'm pretty sure you were serious.
Pretty much.
She loves it. Boy, times have changed, you know, since the days of the Little Rascals, where you just, you know, pulled the rose petals off. She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. And then, you know, whatever the final rose petal was kind of what it was. Now you ask a little computer, and it's always listening to you and reporting you to the government. And, you know, asking about turtles, you're going to have daggum FBI at your door before you know it. What's he doing to turtles? You know, those are a protected species in Chicago.
Yeah.
The turtle hater. Oh, man. Good stuff there from Perry. Really appreciate him, as always. And I'm glad he had a chance to get out to practice last week as well. Yeah, you know, I think that I think that's one of the things. Well, we just finished it up on that conversation there. One of the things that has given me a little bit more encouragement is been the fact that South Carolina really just needs to be marginally better. You know, like nobody's asking for. I mean, you don't have to turn this into Tennessee's offense the last 5 years under Josh Heupel, or LSU 2019, or some of those later offenses that you saw under Nick Saban, or anything like that. You know, Steve Spurrier and the Florida Gators in the 1990s, the early 2000s. I mean, this doesn't have to be the 2022 offense. I mean, it just needs to be marginally better. You know, and
it's a better group than the 2022 group.
Well, it is, but I'm just saying, you know, like, you know, the column that I put out yesterday. See, the thing with offense under Coach Beamer is it hasn't been consistent. But, like, you know, there's this. It's kind of like the the offensive baseball the last 4 years. Everybody lumps in the whole thing like it's just all big. The offense the last 2 years sucked. The offense in 23 and 24 actually was top 10 this century, but people don't, they gloss over that and tell you you're an idiot when you present them with facts. Under Coach Beamer, a lot of people don't actually realize that offensively in 2022 and 2024, while they had some bad games, they scored points. I mean, in 2022, they scored over 32 points per game. That's the fourth highest scoring offense in Carolina football history. Y'all realize that, right?
In 2022.
Yeah.
Well,
in 24.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you can't in 24 or 22.
In 22 and 24, it's the seventh highest scoring single season in program history. Now, I'm not saying that all 12 games they were scoring. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, overall, at the end of the year, the number is what it is. It just is what it is. In 22, that number was greatly helped by what happened in Tennessee, and I understand that, but it still happened. You can't, if it wasn't for Tennessee, it doesn't matter. It was for Tennessee. They did play the game. They did score 63 points that game. Same thing in 24. There's always going to be a couple of games that help the number, pop up. But how's that different from any other team out there? The issue with offense under Coach Beamer has been the inconsistencies. It hasn't been, week in and week out, this is what we can expect. Case in point, the week that they scored the 63 points against Tennessee, they scored 6 the week prior against Florida down in the swamp. And that's where people, it gets the negative connotation. And last year we saw what it was, and it was like, this is just awful. Like, it can't get worse, although it can, because I sat through every game in 1999. But so if you are just increasing that just a little bit, and you're expecting your defense to either hold the bar or improve, being optimistic and being overly optimistic coming into this season, I don't think that's as far-fetched as some people maybe want to paint it out to be.
No, I think it's I think the problem's been is the inconsistency. I think that's really, if you pointed to one criticism of the entire Beamer era, it's been a complete roller coaster. I mean, highest of highs, lowest of lows. I do think, and I'm not saying they're skewed. The numbers are what they are. You're totally right. But also that 2022 season, you had games like Georgia where garbage touchdown or you're shut out. You had games like Missouri, which was ridiculous. Marshawn Lloyd went out. There goes the plan.
Yeah.
And you had all those receivers and Spencer Rattler, and they just kept slamming it up the middle. The Florida game plan, they actually got shut out that game because Limbo scored special teams. That was it. The 6. And then all of a sudden, boom, there you go. This team's pretty good. And it's the inconsistencies. I think in 24, there was reasons for it. Norris was young. I think Dowell Loggins kind of had to meet in the middle. I would be a little bit disappointed with the offense this year if they just showed marginal improvement.
Oh, I would be. I would be too. I'm not. That's not. But
I do think. I think to have a winning season, they do. I mean, look at Oklahoma last year. They improved a little bit. Really, they weren't all that good on offense once Mateer's hand got hurt, and people I think were giving him like a lot of flowers for beating Michigan, and that was about it. But they made the playoff because their defense was really, really good, and they had enough offense. I think you need enough, right?
Well, that's kind of my point. Like, one of the other things I put into that predicting South Carolina's season yesterday, I'm not trying to make this all about me, but it all ties in. It's part of the conversation.
Sure.
And I don't know if you read it, which generally you probably don't. Just he's just a local idiot like Forrest Gump. But number 10 on there was South Carolina will win an SEC shootout. Well, why did I put that in there? And it's going exactly to what I just said. Because the offense here has been inconsistent. Okay. And a lot of those, and to be fair, again, the numbers still are what they are, and to be fair, a lot of those games too, the defense put some numbers on the board. Okay. So if you go back and you say, how many games did the offense win the game, they're just going to have to win the game. The offense has to win the game. They've got us figured out on defense. Like, how many of those games exist in the last 5 years? Tennessee's the easy one, because remember, I know Tennessee scored late in that game, but the defense still gave up 31 points, which was a good day, because at that point in time, Tennessee was scoring like 48 points per game or something coming into the ball game. So they actually did play well. Missouri in 2024.
Yeah.
Carolina outscored them 34-30, right? Okay. How many? What else you got here? You got Missouri. You got that one where you're removing special teams scores and big plays, because obviously that was a huge part in winning at Clemson in 2022 when they won the game 31-30, and you're removing defensive scores. Like, I know that Lenoris Sellers won the game at Clemson 17-14. He scrambled, running into the end zone twice. I got that. The defense held them to 14 points that day. Okay, so if the defense didn't hold up their end of the bargain, Carolina was going to lose the game, regardless of Sellers' antics. So how many games has the offense, like, we'll win the game for you? If we just need to keep scoring, we'll find a way to keep scoring. There's very few of them.
Yeah, it's Clemson and Missouri are the only two. There's been games where the offense, could have the Florida game in 23 that they blew. The defense, that game was on the defense. The offense had their best day that day.
The Mississippi State game in 23 is one that.
Which game?
Mississippi State in 23.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one, Phil. I forgot about that game. Me and Michael Flynn.
Yep.
Probably because of how that game, I took that game. So, yeah, Mississippi State in 23. That's a good one, Phil, right there. I think, the Gator Bowl against Notre Dame, had they won it, the offense probably, because Carolina's defense was just depleted in that one.
Well,
yeah, and they did score on special teams, and they did have 2 defensive touchdowns in it. So it's hard to really say that.
Yeah, you can't.
Had they come back and won, maybe it's on the offense. Yeah, it's just look, all roads lead to offense. Everybody wants to just act like Shane Beamer because he's made mistakes on offense. Has just been horrible all the way around. Not everybody, a lot of folks. The haters club. Everybody's got a haters club, right? And
apparently.
Like, even to this thing with the openers. Well, Beamer just doesn't do good in openers. Well, have you really looked at the openers?
I just said that.
Yeah, because all roads lead to not just bad, horrible offense. Horrible.
Yeah.
Even last year in Atlanta, they had to have a punt return by the guy that was supposed to be the second team punt returner heading into the game. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Kilgore had a hamstring. And to break it open, had a leg, and pull away from a Virginia Tech team that wasn't worth a toot. Okay, I think I was numb after the Old Dominion game, because I am more mad about that game this week than I have ever been. It's like your defense had to give you the ball inside the 10 twice to escape Old Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
And you had, and then, and you had Lenore Sellers back there and everything. It was, and it didn't end up hurting Carolina, but boy, it could have. The Georgia State game.
Oh, it could have been.
Georgia State, you had to have 2 block punts for touchdowns to win. So what does that say? That says, the offense has been atrocious in the first games outside of Eastern Illinois. And I think if you really dug into that game,
they weren't very good in that game.
They weren't very good.
No.
The North Carolina loss. All right, so the defense did not play well that night. Drake May and the receivers kind of got the best of them. But you know what? The defense started getting turnovers. Carolina drives the ball inside the 20 3 times. It comes away with 3 points, loses by 14.
Mm-hmm.
You could have had a great comeback, and got sacked 9 times. Okay. Mm-hmm. In that game, special teams actually recovered an onside kick and made some things happen. I just don't see where, there's 3 phases of the game. Okay. I just don't see where it's a Shane Beamer thing as far as he doesn't get his teams ready, because how the hell are 2/3 of the team showing up and playing better than a lot of teams around the country in those 2 phases and then it's just the offense that's the dumpster fire.
Well, I think so that moves the goalpost just a little bit. You're not moving them, I'm moving them when it comes to Coach Beamer and not having his teams ready to play. I don't look at it from that standpoint. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not saying that they aren't ready to play. That's not what I'm saying. I think that one of the things that I was particularly focused on, and I'm glad he's actually just come out and he himself has addressed this and tackled it before having to be asked the questions, were the mistakes. But the mistake, like they've got 4 straight years where they rank in the 100s in penalties committed as a team per game, penalties per game, which is like over 7 per game for the last 4 years. That's not good. So like why is that? You know what I mean? Like what is it? What are the methods in which you train a football program to not commit so many mistakes, make so many mistakes? And we're not just talking about snaps, although that was bad. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. Why is your team penalized so much every year? I mean, last year was a snapping issue, but it hadn't been a snapping issue for 4 straight years, has it? I don't recall that. So, like, that's when you're talking about not being prepared. I'm not saying that they're not prepared. I don't believe that they're not prepared. I think that that's a very lazy thing to say when teams don't play well. They just weren't ready to play. Bull crap. They were ready to play. But, like, why are they making mistakes? What is it in preparation that does not prevent them from doing this? That's where my head goes when I hear things like that, JC, kind of what you're talking about, the 2-3 phases of the ball game. But the offense, like, yeah, if you have a consistent offense, I mean, how many games can you go back on in the last 5 years and go win? I can give you a bunch of them, probably a dozen.
Yeah, and I think it goes back. You've had a bunch of guys coaching the offense that don't really understand college, that didn't really understand college football. I mean, just to be honest, I think Marcus Satterfield was all about Marcus Satterfield, and the one year he got coffee for the line coach with the Panthers and decided it was going to be about him and do all this stuff. I mean, I remember in a press conference in 21 him saying, "Well, it may take 2 years for our guys to learn this system." You believe you have 2 years in college football just of growing pains, when you're out there, and you do have players they left. I mean, your running back rushed for 1,000 yards last year. You've got guys. You need a quarterback. 2 years, he just has 2 years to go. I mean, do this. Dowell was kind of learning college game and stuff like that. But like that Old Dominion game, there was no excuse for what happened offensively in that one. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'll forgive him for it. Right. I'll forgive him for it because I think he actually did a really good job in 23 in a tough circumstance. But you got to know how to coach those different types of quarterbacks you're going to get. Then poor Mike Shule was just past his prime. He just did things like he always had. Football. Some coaches will say football. The football's football. Well, it's not. At its core, it is. But when you start adding stuff, it's not. And all roads lead to that because every year in the opener, they look confused. They look, they make stupid penalties. There's bad assignments. The execution's not there. They play lethargic. Meanwhile, the defense and special teams has been bailing them out. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing with the Beamer doesn't get Beamer. Beamer is responsible for the offense, but if Beamer as a head football coach just can't get his teams ready to play, if that's the narrative, then how do people explain the defense and the special teams playing so well? I mean, on defense, you got a shutout. You got a special preparation in Georgia State, who is hard to stop. You can ask Tennessee about that. Shut them down pretty good. Bad game against North Carolina, but they did stiffen and get a turnover to try to get back in it. That's the one bugaboo on defense I'll give everybody. The next year against Old Dominion, they completely saved the day. And then they held Virginia Tech without a touchdown in Atlanta. And everybody's was worried. Oh, how are the D tackles going to hold up? Me and Phil sat there and watched the defense. Well, this defense is pretty good, and so and that's what was so bad about the letdown last year is you saw that first drive and you were like, wow, maybe they're ready to play. And then it just, it's like, how about this, like Harry Carey, how about this mad cow disease? It was here for a while and it went away. I mean, unbelievable. So so at least they got one drive in last year. Thankful for that drive. But man, I think all roads lead to offense. So what are you going to do about it? You're going to go hire Kendall Browse.
Yeah.
And have do what a lot of people thought should have been done to begin with and run a college offense that's a system that's not only worked for Kendall Browse, but for the 4 or 5 other coaches in the SEC that have run this type of thing too. And I think, JB, that alone should get you to where what you mentioned with this just improvement. I think that alone will. I don't really know. It was just really tough pill to swallow because with what's happened with the bad starts offensively, and I think that, and once you dig into it, you really realize, well, special teams and defense actually been really good in openers, and so we'll see. Hopefully, the offense will be good this time around. I know it's going to be a pretty hot day and all that, but so hopefully they put some points on the board and get it over with.
Well, and I think that they will. I mean, I don't think that, again, mentioned this earlier with Perry. It's not like a cop out or an excuse or anything like that. Every single team in the country is going to have some issues in their opener. They just are. I mean, and a lot of them we don't even know about, and some of them you will see. I don't expect South Carolina to run 80 plays of perfect offense next week. I'm sure that they're going to have some issues somewhere, and they'll have to go back and get them figured out. Matter of fact, I would hope that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I mean, if you don't, it's probably pretty vanilla. You know what I mean? I mean, I would hope that they do have some sort of things that they got to go back and figure out. They got a kid who runs the wrong route, or they got a kid who whiffs on a block, or whatever the case is. And then those are coaching moments. Like if you've ever actually coached, you understand where coaching moments are. It's not just bitching and yelling about it and throwing everybody under the bus and then I quit. No, I get to go teach here. And that's what the first game is for. But you also want to be good and so well prepared that you're not in danger, and they're not going to be in danger of losing next week's ball game or the week after that. But you want to make sure that you're 2 or 3 rungs up the ladder as well, because what's coming after that is tough. It's not easy, starting with Mississippi State. Like, you don't want to be having to go back and, well, we're going to have to really go back and fix this and do – no, you want to tweak. But you don't want to have to go back and, like, totally adjust things. And that's been a lot of Carolina over the last few years. We're going to have to scrap that and come up with a new way to do it. You're not coming up with new ways. Like, it's just fixing those things and continuing to advance your offense. I think if they do that, they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I think they could use JB a game like, I don't know if the score would get out of hand like this or not, but I watched Arkansas Pine Bluff play Missouri on a Thursday night last year or the year before, maybe last year.
When it was like 81-6 or something.
It was, but but with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, it was 3-0.
Yeah.
And Arkansas Pine Bluff was marching down the field, completing short passes. Yay. I think that it's good to have coaching points and face some adversity so you can correct what the mistakes were. So I don't want to see a perfect game either. And if you see a really almost flawless performance against Kent State, maybe you want to struggle a little at moments against Towson, because I think you don't want your first adversity to hit, because everyone around town, or not everyone, but the loud voices that are out there, the haters, what they're going to say is, let's say you beat both these teams, and like Tennessee did a few years ago, and you beat them almost 200-0, right, or something like that. And everybody's like, well, you wait to see what, wait, you just wait, wait, and that narrative creeps in sometimes. And so then Mississippi State comes out and hits you in the mouth because they're good. And you don't know what to do because it's been too easy. Everybody's been, 80% of the fans have been singing your praises, and the 20% haters, you're just like, oh yeah, you're laughing at them now. So I kind of think, most teams should face adversity. National championship teams have faced adversity, so against lower level teams, and I hope that there is some adversity in the game next Saturday, not enough to make us nervous and make jump off a cliff.
Yeah, nobody. Please don't misunderstand. We're not sitting there going, I sure hope this game's 17-14 in the fourth quarter.
No,
like that's not what anybody's saying.
I'm not looking for a tie score at halftime or like a few years ago, and I knew they would come back and win. Charleston Southern had Clemson down at half, like 21-9 or something at half.
Mm-hmm.
I think Clemson won 60-21. Now you don't want any no lessons like that. Just like Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Missouri level adversity is what you want. You don't want it to be flawless and then have nothing to coach on. And it won't be.
Nah. Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody can call into Carolina Calls tonight, 7:00. And hey, Coach, how many points you going to try to score against Kent State next weekend? What's your number?
I'm excited for that. I was thinking about watching that Towson game, but I don't have credentials to get into Flow Sports. So.
Well, Flow Sports is part of Amazon Prime now, I think.
Is it part of Prime?
It is. It's on Prime. Yeah, because
I have Prime, so good.
Hey,
maybe I can watch that.
You should do the live updates on the message board from the call-in show.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. Instead of the game thread, like do the call-in show thread.
Yes, that would be.
That would be.
Phil
fun.
is pretty hilarious with live updates.
Yeah, because I definitely am bringing that back for football season. I can't do it for. I mean, I could do it for Gamecock football games, but let's face it, I'm not going to do that.
I wouldn't do it.
No,
I don't want to be any part of a live. That's for.
That's part of my lockout. No social, no boards.
You take the whole cow, you throw it to the rabid dogs. You don't pet them, you don't whistle, you don't give them their toy. You just let them have it. You come back in 3 hours. See what is taking place. They're either full and happy or they're killing each other.
That's
just how it is.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that. But yeah, I got kicking around some ideas. Either the Thursday night game or the I'm leaning more into the Friday night CW game.
It's just funny. No, but see, it's I'd pop in there game thread on game day, maybe even for 10 minutes for kickoff. All right, fellas, I'm out. See ya.
That's right. See you tomorrow.
Hear from me until Sunday. That's
See
it.
you tomorrow.
I'm done. You guys can just fuss and discuss amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Which I think fans would prefer. They don't want to hear anything from us.
Nah.
Don't worry. They won't hear from me.
No.
I can assure you of that. I don't need all that on my plate. I'm going to enjoy. Obviously, I'll have to check in. It's not like I can't. Do have an obligation, but I will enjoy Saturdays with my daughters. I can assure you of that.
Yeah, no. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Well, they're all fired up now, man. They're ready to go. Dad, what are we cooking next week?
Oh, and I got both of mine already asking. What games are we going to? When are we going? Which ones are we going to go see?
Well, it's breakfast, sweetheart. You want, we we'll figure it out. I don't know. Whatever the Flints are having.
Yeah, right. What are we having? I don't know. Whatever they got available.
Now we got to feed a bunch of college kids next week. So.
Nope.
Yeah. Probably after a long Friday night for them. So got to make sure you got something good. We'll figure it out. All right. Well, I'm out of breath and energy. So I'm going to ease on out of here. Appreciate Clark Cox. That was a good update on Williams-Brice Stadium. And Perry Orth. And Smitty. All of you who will be playing high school football tonight. A lot of games moved once again because of the weather.
The weather forecast.
Man.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that.
Oh, trust me.
I'm stunned.
Believe me. I get it.
Trust me, dude. Trust me.
All right. Well, I'm going to go watch something else. Not y'all.
Okay.
Sounds good.
See you tomorrow.
Gamecock Traditions is your Nike superstore and your home for anything and everything with a South Carolina logo. Visit us in the Midlands and order online at GamecockTraditions.com. Go Gamecocks!
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Gary Patterson for your personal price plan today.
Walk me through the toughest case or situation we've had to handle without names or locations. Just what was the toughest situation?
The hardest one was there was an individual that defended themselves in their home and they're still criminally charged. And there was evidence that they were being sought after for something that they weren't technically involved in. And they're being charged criminally because they defended themselves inside of their own home for doing what was right and what we believe at Right to Bear to be a human right.
TheBigSpur.com, now part of On3. Join for just $1 today.
When you buy and sell your sports and fitness gear at Play It Again Sports, you support a local business. We pay our customers for their quality used sports and fitness gear and resell it, recycling it back into your community. Support local, score savings.
Palm Casual Patio Furniture presents our coverage of South Carolina football. Visit palmcasual.com today. Make your outdoor space the best it can be. Go Gamecocks.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Gary Patterson for your personal price plan today.
A really common fear in a workman's compensation case is what's going to happen to my job if I report this injury? And my answer to that is you still need to report your injury. I'm dealing directly with the insurance company, and the insurance company is going to treat you like a file number. So let me make sure that doesn't happen to you. Let me get involved in your workman's compensation case.
Coffee, weekday mornings with JC Sherbert. Watch or listen on the Chief Sports app, the Chief Sports YouTube page, and available on Apple and Spotify.
Clowns are people too. Clowns are people too. Now I own some tiny horns and got me those red shoes. I don't know much, but know one thing that's true. If you don't know anything, just know that clowns are people too.
Now back to the clowns on the Chief Sports Network.
Welcome in, everybody, inside the Gamecocks, the show rolling on here. Third hour of the live super stream here on a thirsty Thursday. Phil Mad Dog Mullinax, JC Sherbert in with you. Man, we're almost there, JC. It's like, well, there's real football on tonight, and then there'll be power football on Saturday. I just read some sort of headline that says Steve Belichick is not going to be with the North Carolina team when they travel to Ireland. So that's what a dramatic offseason.
I hope Steve Belichick's health related, right? So I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I hope he is okay. I didn't realize it was
call him a Hard Rock Harry. Like these guys that like look sort of like Rob Ryan. I call him Hard Rock Harry.
Hard Rock Harry.
Hard Rock Harry. But I don't know why I do that. So I hope Hard Rock Harry's okay. Yeah, Hard Rock Harry's. We're on to Ireland.
We're on to Ireland.
I don't even know how Bill Belichick's coaching football right now, but I'm telling you, don't be surprised if they put points on the board against TCU. Don't be surprised if they beat TCU. Seriously,
right?
Because TCU's probably like after going in and cutting them in Chapel Hill last year, cutting them. Oh, by the way, who was the offensive coordinator that night?
Oh yeah, A1
TCU
Briles, right? Mm-hmm.
Pretty good start.
Not bad.
So perhaps actually they're probably a little better that night than they were for the rest of the season. But so I think TCU is probably just sitting there going, we're just going to roll on over to Ireland and beat them down. Like they're full of turmoil and all that. But you're not, first of all, if somebody has to step in and run the defense, Bill Belichick is perfectly capable of doing it.
Right. You've got a guy that
he's
can
only
do it,
one of the
right?
better defensive minds out there. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't try to overteach it, but Belichick would be one in college, I would think, that would understand that these guys, you got to scale it back.
Yeah.
That's A. B, don't forget the Bobby Petrino factor.
That's right. He is.
He's the OC, dog.
He's the OC,
Bobby
yeah.
Petrino
North
is the
Carolina,
OC
dude.
at UNC. So there's two things about that. Number one, he's Bill Belichick. I'm not letting Jordan, my girlfriend, anywhere near Bobby Petrino.
Yeah.
Or his motorcycle.
Keep an eye on your daughters out there in Dublin.
So it's like, I bet Hard Rock Harry drives a motorcycle too.
Oh, yeah, he's got it.
Hard Rock rolls up there on his hog, and here comes Petrino, and Belichick looks at Jordan because they're standing out there drinking a drink with an umbrella in it or something. And wherever they got him in chapel, it's like, yeah, let's go inside. I don't want you to see this. Hi, Steve. No, stop. Turn around, woman. Get inside. Smacks her. I don't want you talking to Bobby. Dude, what if we had this whole drama? Like, what if there's like we had a real soap opera about UNC football? Like Bill Belichick was kind of the Days of Our Lives character. Stefano DiMiro would be Bobby Petrino.
That would be Petrino.
He would be Petrino.
Right? Yes.
Bill Belichick would be Victor Kariakis, maybe.
Yes.
Oh, my dear sweet brother Noopsy. This is Inside the Gamecocks, the show on a Thursday. McKellar Enterprises Chat Box. We've talked about openers a little bit in the first part. Jamie, he was talking about his article on thebigspur.com yesterday. It's really good. It's got 10 good things in it. It's not all positive either. He said he painted a rosy picture. I don't think it was that rosy. I thought it was very realistic. So be sure to check that out. Doc Graybeard does sound off because all roads do lead to offense. And he's talking about Beamer. He's like, retaining the guy that nearly sunk Beamer, then replace him with a learn-on-the-job guy, then a washed-up old coach. Yeah, I don't know that. I think with Dowell Loggins learning on the job, I don't necessarily think he was unprepared to be an OC. I think he was unprepared to coach a quarterback like Lenore Sellers to his strengths. Because you get here and Spencer Rattler is like, can do the things that you want him to do, and you did it in a way that made a lot more sense than the previous guy.
Yeah.
Sellers just wasn't there, and I think, I think Dowell Loggins got a lot better as an OC as the year went on too.
Yes.
There's
just a good argument
as far as what to call and when and all that good stuff. So Lance says if Kendall Browse makes the Gamecocks product exciting, he may finally get a head job. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bruin makes a good point. Loggins started off the year trying to do like Shula and Satterfield and his year with Rattler, and Rattler was able to do it. But to his credit, he adjusted more to Lenoris, and it paid off. Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Krager said, what they get off in that first drive, got the ball out quick, bootleg, short crossers, and then it just went away. Man, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, who knows? I know. Yeah, it's the biggest bill of goods we've been sold around here in a long time was that opening drive.
Good Lord, it's legendary.
I know.
Legendary. Bruin said, go out and set the tone the first two games, get in sync and score 60. Yeah, I'm very careful about points, saying there's 60.
I mean, we'd love to see it, but
I think when you set those expectations, but not that I'm out here setting expectations for anybody, but if you go and score 42 and you're playing the fourth team the whole fourth quarter and resting up and staying healthy, that's okay too. That's okay too. So the call, everybody's talking about the coach's Shane Beamer call-in show. Luke says, I want us to look like a playoff team in game one. Not all the playoff teams look like playoff teams. I mean, it's some that look like playoff teams in week one. By week 7, they're terrible.
Doo-doo.
I just want a good, solid first game. As first games go, let's not go out there and have everybody walking out of the stadium mad after a victory.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hot enough.
Right. Yeah. There's no need to Georgia State or Old Dominion.
You don't want to get that Columbia Saturday afternoon 3:00 pseudo hangover when you're heading back to the condo or tailgate to maybe turn on the afternoon action. Auburn Baylor, I think, is then.
Yeah, right.
Clemson, get ready to watch the Clemson game, and for the first time ever, Clemson against another SEC school. People are having trouble deciding who to pull for. And have a bad feeling in the pit of your stomach about the Gamecock game. I mean, it's let's just don't do it.
No,
I'm talking about the team. Just don't go out there and mess around.
Right? Yeah, that's right. Don't as little anxiety as possible. Right? I like your theory from the morning show that a little adversity is not going to hurt anybody. That way, you can kind of get through it and push through it. But fight through it. No anxiety. Let's get out of here with a resounding win. Looking competent in all 3 phases of the game.
Yeah. So, exactly. Gamecock Depression said, saw that right. Said South Carolina and Ole Miss also were recruiting him. Do you guys believe that's true? No. Now I'll say this. Okay. Could South Carolina have used another tight end? Yes, if Daquan Wright was. Now I'll also say this: recruiting. When you recruit or you have a conversation about something with your agent, which is how it works these days, that's a whole hell of a lot different than Shane Beamer calling up and saying sue so you can get eligible.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So maybe they had a conversation. I mean, look, I've said that. I need to quit saying that. I've said this. Well, the reason I say I've said this is because I hate repeating myself, and I'm almost reminding myself, by the way, just so you guys know, because my wife said, she was like, you say I've said this a lot. I've said it sounds like you're bragging about how much you know.
Yeah.
And if it comes across that way, I apologize. I'm gonna quit dang doing that because I just say that because I'm going back and I'm like I've said that already. You said, I mean, in my mind I'm like, you said that already. You said it because I don't want to repeat myself. I'm getting old, so I apologize for that, folks. But nevertheless, Carolina needed or could have used another tight end.
Yeah. I mean, that
becomes available. Obviously, they were open to doing it, but are they actively scouring NFL rosters?
No.
That was just an idea. I think that just got floated to take some of the heat off of LSU.
Yeah, something tells me some of that's just coming out. Not surprised though that Ole Miss is the other mentioned team there.
Yeah, and look, regardless, Carolina's president and Ole Miss's president both voted to not let pro players back, and LSU ended up abstaining. Probably because and he was going to vote for it, but probably because they would have been like, look, you realize we only have 4 basketball players right now.
That's right.
If no pros are eligible.
That's right. The AD steps in and be like, man, you can't vote to kill your basketball program before it even starts the season.
Yeah, no doubt. Blake comes in. By the way, Blake, I woke up early this morning and I had YouTube on because it's the documentaries.
Yes.
And the first recommended video, dog, was the Landrum. I'm going to have Phil play the intro. The Landrum High School Coaches Show on the way back in. It's even more epic than the broadcast.
It was so good.
It's so well produced too. Like honestly, it looks like one of those old timey college coaches shows.
You would not think that Landrum is just this tiny school.
Yeah, you would think
the border of South Carolina.
1A school at all.
No.
Beautiful.
It's like, man, these guys must be like legit.
JEK is not in the chat.
Yeah, no,
It's
we
like,
don't
I'm
allow
done.
him in. Even he's blocked. Actually, we have him blocked. It works that way. He does sneak in via Twitter every once in a while, but we try to ignore that dumbassery.
Cockaway says, did y'all read the piece from the UNC on 3 side a couple of weeks back on a possible move to the SEC? They were projecting us maybe scheduling them after they announced an exit because the ACC would be mad. South Carolina North kind of canceled that series yet?
No.
That has not been canceled. NC State.
Home and home is still. Hold on. Let me.
All right, Phil. Let's go on a fact-finding mission because I didn't read that article, Cockaway, but that's very, very interesting because all the Virginia Tech's been canceled in the 2030s. Miami's gone. I think NC State's gone too. Kind of fascinating. North Carolina's still there. Dun, 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 dun.
No, okay, I take that back. They did cancel.
They canceled
North Carolina. Yes.
All right. So okay. All right. Well, never mind.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which one. So, but I don't. I think if they join the SEC, then South Carolina, North Carolina will probably play every year, which is fine. I'm there for that. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think South Carolina, as long as there's 9 SEC games, no.
Mm-mm.
They're not scheduling them. Lance has given an early Latte Lance game 1 prediction, 42-10.
Oh, nice. There we go.
Bruin says, pray for the insanity if Carolina beats Kent State 24-7. Yes,
no.
Bobby says we're going to hang 42. Deputy Smitty makes an excellent point. Mentioned in the playoff looking in game 1. Remember Florida State last season?
Yeah.
Man, they put Florida State in the top 10. Yeah.
Woohoo. Look at that. They took down Bammer.
Whoa.
Oh, wait a minute.
They lost how many ACC games in a row, Florida State?
So fast.
TD says, has the Mississippi State game time been announced? Yeah, it's
isn't it a
4:15? 4:15. 4:30. Yeah, that actual kick has been announced.
Mm-hmm.
First 3 weeks. It's mid-afternoon. Dexter says, let the shenanigans be during the tailgate, not on the field. Absolutely. Deputy Smitty says high of 97, it currently says.
No, is that
I saw that too. And then somebody had an updated forecast that said 91. I don't know.
It's going to be hot and muggy. There's just no way around it, right?
Be hot. So, Luke says he doesn't watch Florida State, but he remembers in 2000 coming off 1-21 and beat New Mexico State and tore down the goalpost. Everyone knew Carolina was going to be good after that game. Yeah, they didn't. That was a good opener. Carolina did not make a whole lot of mistakes, and that was Lou Holtz's first win at South Carolina.
Right.
And then they shut New Mexico. New Mexico State had a pretty competitive, good team the year before. And I remember like WTBS had a college football show, Fred Hickman or whatever. And I remember one of those guys on there picked New Mexico State to upset the Gamecocks.
Mm.
Diego Pavia wasn't walking through that door.
Right, Diego. That's right. The kill zone was not coming.
The kill zone. Blake said he said, hell yeah. He said, I almost sent you the coach's show when I was out yesterday, but I knew you were busy. Big brother's listening to you. Yeah, no doubt. Oh, yeah. Cockwheat says the UNC on 3 guy was basically forecasting how salty their ACC brethren would be, and they need us to schedule them till they become a full SEC member. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Right here. At this point, we'll trade you LSU for North Carolina.
I'll trade LSU for North Carolina tomorrow.
In a heartbeat.
But if they're out there in Neverland and the ACC's not, they don't have enough games, it's out there. It's like, oh, let's call up South Carolina. They'll play us. No, we won't.
No.
I would say if I were there, no, we won't. Why? We have Clemson and 9 SEC games. Go to hell.
Yeah, that's right. We don't need you.
I mean, that's all I would say.
There is zero benefit to even blowing you off the field.
Yeah, I mean, no way. All right, let's get to breaking.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Back to normal on our music here. Mm-hmm.
When we get back, so our buddy Mac in the chat box yesterday, Burns guy, karaoke guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, his partner there's Kyle, who also went to Burns with him. And I did want to give everybody an update about the flounder. Kyle, let's just say he said it's the bomb.
Oh, man, all right, man. Check this flounder place out.
They need to, we need to solicit them for advertising. We need to steal them from the Landrum Coaches Show.
That's right.
Hey, we'll cut you a deal.
We'll cut you a deal.
No, I'm just kidding. Go into the Flounder chat box.
That's right.
They got good onion. They do. I remember them having good onion rings. There's a lot of places in Spartanburg with good onion rings. Anyway, also there's good food out at D's Wings. Go visit D's Wings in West Columbia. Gamecock Traditions, GamecockTraditions.com. Get all the Nike stuff and all that good happy jazz. And don't forget, there's high school football tonight because for some reason, I'd like somebody to explain to me the protocol for rescheduling these games. Like, is it a financial thing because the gate's not going to be that good? I understand they need money. I understand any explanation you give me. And I'm not trying to be old man yells at cloud, but some of these forecasters like, well, there's a thunderstorm coming through 30 minutes. Or it's like, I saw one forecast light rain. Like the forecast for the whole state was light rain. And I know there's storms that come in. I'm not an idiot nor a meteorologist. But like last week, there was a big system coming in, right? You knew it. I don't know that we got, and there's still like 20 games on Thursday. Somebody explain it to me.
Yeah, who knows?
I just,
I'm ticked off about having to spend $23 and getting to watch one quarter of football. And then, if I go back this week, they're going to charge me again.
They should give you a discount. Or
should go in there and just argue and be like, I was here last week. You owed me 3 quarters of football.
There's some teachers sitting out there teaching some math teacher.
Yeah.
Then they just give her you're taking tickets because you teach math. Keep up with the money, Bonnie. I'm 3 years from retirement. I'm not taking the tickets anymore, Mr. Fetterman. We'll be back after this on the show.
If you own a home, don't wait on these home safety tips. Flush your water heater, clean your dryer vent, and inspect your roof annually. Don't forget to check washer hoses and caulk in wet areas. Visit RestoProsMidlandsSC.com.
The road to success, well, it isn't always a straight one. I tell my kids every day before dropping them off at school, don't take this for granted. Tuition assistance from the South Carolina Education Lottery helped me go back to school when I needed to make a change. And I'm so grateful because now I am where I'm supposed to be.
Better opportunities means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
Do you carry? Carry responsibly with us. What could you lose from a Self-Defense Act? Visit protectwithbear.com to find out more. protectwithbear.com.
Troy Branham of Golden Gate Mortgage can help you save big today anywhere in South Carolina. Over 27 years experience. Visit ggmortgage.com. Troy Branham of Golden Gate Mortgage says go Gamecocks.
Dry Space Crawl Space Solutions are your local home protection experts. Crawl space encapsulation, sump pump and drain installs, humidity control, duct cleaning, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and French drains. We do it all. Visit dryspacecs.com. dryspacecs.com. Go Gamecocks.
If you have experienced water damage, storm damage, fire or smoke damage, or need mold remediation, you need Resto Pros of the Midlands. Visit RestoProsMidlands.sc.com and go Gamecocks.
Subscribe to FourQuarterFriday.com. High school sports coverage in South Carolina. Part of Rivals on 3. And the Chief Sports Network.
The following is a presentation of Landrum Cardinals Athletics on Upstate Prepcast.
This is so good.
It's time for the Landrum Football Coaches Show with head coach Mike Reed on Upstate Prepcast. This show presented by Teddy Laster Racing Stables.
Yes.
In addition to the Briar Patch of Campobello. JB Trees LLC of Landrum. Stotts Ford of Tryon. Along with these supporting sponsors. Kickin' Cuts Meat Market and Hello. Peach Country of Campobello. Rogers Architectural Associates.
Ray Rogers.
And now from the Southside Smokehouse and Grill in Landrum, South Carolina, your hosts Steve Roper and Kevin Jackson with head coach of the Landrum Cardinals, Mike Reed.
Dude, listen to this.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Landrum Cardinals Football Coaches Show, live here at the Smokehouse and Grill in Landrum, South Carolina, with my good friend here, head coach Mike Reed, and my producer, Kevin Jackson, and Rob McIntyre.
Look at Rob McIntyre's picture just coming up there like a pimp, like with a mustache and the microphone.
Last week's action, and we're going to talk about what's coming up this week.
You can cut it now. You can get the preview of the Landrum 96. Landrum's 1-0.
Yep.
Preview of the Landrum 96 game by watching this. Head coach Mike Reed and those kids. I guess those are coach's kids there. And
they are. Those are his
kids, dude. I mean, I don't know. I'm so fascinated by this. As a native of Spartanburg, I'm just so fascinated.
Burns? Like, is Burns doing a coach's show?
No, Burns is on what used to be ESPN Upstate. Like,
right. Yeah.
Burns and Spartan High is on like the Spartanburg Dorman have their own. I mean, they've had that for years. Burns used to not have a broadcast, but when they started winning under Bobby Bentley, and Spartan High and Dorman have always had their radio. Gaffney was on a big FM out of Gaffney.
Yeah,
I think they probably still are. But the school's up on the Northern Ridge, and so what this Upstate Prepcast is Landrum, Chapman, Bowling Springs, and Chesney. So that Northern Ridge of Spartanburg County, there's some dang good folks up from that way, you know. And I'm just like, I originally turned on the Landrum the Chapman broadcast the other day. They played East Side on last Thursday, and it let's just say it reminded me of home a little bit too. And but then these guys, like, because Chapman was rained out, so I switched over to Landrum. I was like, oh my Lord. My wife listened to the whole coach's show this morning, so she's listening to the whole game.
She's all set up for the game against 96 this weekend.
Yeah, we got it going. We're going to have it on. So I don't know, man.
Oh, so good. I'm like, man, I love it. I love it. Talk about small town football, man. That's exactly what it's all about.
JB Trees is the preacher in town. I worked for him in high school.
Oh,
does he not have? I thought it was a tree removal service.
It is, but you know what? It explains why.
There's some religious, some
there
Christian
was some,
symbolism
iconography there. Yeah.
Oh, he has a tree removal company. He's like, people like that. You know, it's like, well, I need prayer. Go see JB.
That's right.
Because a tree fell on my house. Well, I got good news for you.
That's right.
We'll save you a trip.
Man,
We'll save you a trip. Save you a phone call.
Right. 2 birds, 1 stone. Call JB.
Oh, Harrison says it did not disappoint. So all right. So we got to talk about the Gamecocks. So somebody, Bruin. I knew Bruin was going to be in a bad mood, because the scheduling at South Florence probably wasn't too smart.
Yeah.
You go to Hilton Head with every Gamecock fan's favorite high school coach, and they beat South Florence. That was bad. And then you go right back down there. You go right back down there to play James Highland.
I know.
Who's in charge of scheduling? Bowling Springs. True. Doc says Bowling Springs is not the town he grew up in. 2-lane highway, Highway 9, a community cash, Bantam Chef, and 1 red light. Boy, people need to. I've lost probably some pounds significantly. If people don't quit talking about the flounder and the Bantam Chef, I'm going to go try to find. I'm driving 25 miles from here where I could find the equivalent and ordering a chili cheese with onion rings, and I can't do that.
Can't. We got
to don't mention the Bantam Chef, Doc. I'm a recovering fat man. Paul McJucket asked why I moved to Chicago. I just like the weather. Ha! No, my wife is from Chicago. So she's from Thailand originally, but she moved to Chicago when she was 4. I actually met her in Spartanburg at a wedding, but she has 2 kids and stepsons. And so they were in high school, and the power of technology can do my job anywhere. It's a pain in the butt sometimes, but with the Gamecocks, but I've always worked with good people and have stayed connected, and I'm back frequently. So, but we just can't move the kids when they're in high school. That's just kind of tricky, and didn't want to just live apart, so had to make this work, but we'll be back soon enough. Landrum got a Boots and Sonny's. Did you know that Sonny Clayton is my distant cousin, or sort of distant cousin?
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My great grandmother, her sister, married Sonny Clayton's dad, and Ricky from Ricky's is his brother. We can't. We got to get on another subject. There's still the Bantam Chef in downtown Chesney. Oh my gosh! So
I'm getting hungry now.
Yeah. So Blake said Nat's now a Landrum Cardinal. We may get some gear. We were talking about it. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so some personnel notes. Jamie and Risher is going to be the 4th linebacker. Clayton White kind of confirmed a lot of things yesterday.
Yeah, he did. He was pretty open about how he's lining things.
Yeah, some of the person, and he'll do. He's one that will do that. He'll eventually just kind of give you 2 or 3 guys. And I'm not, what I've heard is that guy's around the football making plays. If you're kind of a Gamecock historian, you can go all the way back to Hank Campbell, walk-on linebacker from within the state that did some good things. More recently, Lance Lowry, he was from Lower Richland, or Lowry. Anyway, I think he started 3 years at linebacker here. There been any other walk-on linebackers that have done big things at Carolina? You come to mind?
Not walk-on.
He's the 4th linebacker, so that'll be good. Also, he said Jaquavius Dodd. So I don't know. We haven't seen Clint in a long, long time in the chat box. And I was wondering about it. It's like, I wonder if we did something to make him mad.
No. Right.
No.
That's right. Yeah.
We didn't.
No.
He said this, and dude, when Clint gets back in the chat box,
I mean,
we
kudos
need to give
Clint
him a medal of honor.
Freaking guns, man.
I'd forgotten Clint said this, and so then, so I forgot he said it, but he said it. It's like, I'm taking the preseason of football off, and I was like, oh yeah, like a lot of people. It's like usually that means I'm not going to buy into the hype.
Yeah,
people will still post and just doubt things, still interact, still listen, still read. He was serious. He's just taking it off. And I
can't remember if he still has a daughter that goes to Wade Hampton.
I am impressed.
If not, maybe
Clint's a big fan.
Yeah, man, I know.
I miss him. I mean, he goes to high school games and stuff. We got all this high school stuff. I'm like, I need to ask you about these teams. I'm listening to East Side, you know.
Yeah.
Clint's an East Side guy. I'm listening to them versus Chapman. I'm like, who's this kid from East Side, you know?
Oh, Clint's Easley guy. Yeah, he's a green. He was a Green Wave.
Easily, that's right. Easily.
But yeah, kids at Wade Hampton. That's how I was like,
Right.
I see him when I go to Wade Hampton games. So maybe
Quay Dodd went to East Side. That's what I'm saying. But so Quay Dodd. So on my projected depth chart on the Big Spur, I had George Wilson as the fourth end, just because I think he's going to do some pass rushing stuff. But actually, Clayton White said it was Quay Dodd, which I think is good because I think that shows progress. Because Dodd, number one, there's a new coach, and the new coach did not get to work with him in the spring. So that means with Deion Barnes and Quay Dodd that they've sort of he's must have done something impressive because there was other options there. And then number two, Dodd, since he's been here, has been a long-term upside guy.
Yeah.
And it kind of tells me, Phil, that he's probably a little bit further along than maybe we thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the reason I thought of Clint by saying this is that Clint went to see Dodd play at Eastside. That's where I thought he went to Eastside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And came back, gave me a nice scouting report. I always enjoyed his scouting report. So hopefully Clint's just holding out till, you know, well, he's just doing what he said he was going to do.
I imagine we'll see. He'll have to. We'll see him next week, man. Yeah,
he'll have to be back. I mean, the Gamecocks have to give him a reason to be back.
Yeah,
but you know. All right, McKellar Enterprises Chat Box. Fish camp. Dexter misses the Pizza Inn buffet up there. I think about the Pizza Inn buffet every day of my life. Not really every day, but sort of. I mean,
not really every day, but
Oh, okay. So I forgot this Bruin beef sandwich question. It was in the earlier show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is a beef sandwich from Illinois the same as a roast beef from here? We need to know. No. So Italian, it's called Italian beef sandwich. And what they do, it's not a very expensive piece of meat. This all came out of like immigrant kitchens. Same thing with the drug through the garden hot dog. You know, they didn't have a lot to eat or whatever. So they make a hot dog and they load it up with veggies to get fuller. That's kind of the urban legend with it. And so you take this piece of meat. I don't know what it is. You can use a number of pieces of meat.
Yeah,
and you kind of boil it, slow roast, boil it, broil it like for 24 hours. So it falls apart, and you like spices, and you make the au jus or whatever. And then you put it on a French roll, and then you dip it in that juice, and you put what's called jardiniere peppers on it. And it's a very distinctive taste. I ordered an Italian beef sandwich in Atlanta one time, and it was just roast beef on I was like, who are you trying to fool here?
This ain't no beef.
This ain't a beef. Now, what's really good is the beef and sausage combo. The first time I ordered that, I'm with my wife, and I'm like, I want one of them beef sandwiches. You know, we were dating. She's like, well, I'm going to take you by Portillo's. It's like, okay, cool. So I got me a beer, and I got me in a glass. It came in a glass at this hot dog place. And she's like, you should get the combo. So I'm looking at the combo. I'm like, I'm thinking combo. It comes with fries or onion rings and a drink. No, sir. It's a beef sandwich, as I just described, but with a piece of Italian sausage in the middle of it.
Oh.
And then they dip that in juice and put jardiniere on it. So it's a combination. It's a combo.
That sounds delightful.
So that's very good. Doc said Boots and Sonny's versus Ricky's. Hot dog wise, I'd always go to Ricky's, but I think my dad liked Ricky better as his cousin or whatever. So we ended up going there more. He didn't dislike Sonny, but it was kind of weird. Luke says, what's your favorite Gamecock football game or memory or Gamecock football season? Any time period. My favorite season up until the last month of 2024, which I thoroughly like. That's the first time in a long time there was like not a lot of anxiety watching the team.
Right.
There was nervousness, but I looked forward to. I hated it when the season ended because I was like, I really liked watching this team play.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite game ever? Gosh, I'd say probably. See, a lot of the games that I really enjoyed, they lost. Like I had a good time.
Right. Had a good time.
Like when I was a kid, I went to the Orange Bowl to see him play Miami. Lost, but a great game. Let me think. My favorite game ever. I'd have to say, just for kind of like sentimental purposes, because I went with my friend Manning. Manning passed away in 2014, and he was my buddy when I lived in Nashville. He lived in Spartanburg. I would come down and we would I would come down and we would go to the games together because my wife at the time worked on weekends, and he was the only one left. It's like that song from the Allman Brothers, "Nobody Left to Run With Anymore." Because me and him, and so we just go to the games. And so this was 2005 when Spurs first year. They were playing Florida, and Florida was in the middle of putting together a monster recruiting class. And of course I worked at Rivals, and they got Tebow, and, they're getting all these good players, and, here's Carolina, and like, Spurs never going to win, and blah, 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 all this stuff. And, so Florida, the Gators come to town. It was an early game. So I got up early in the morning and drove down and followed Manning down because I had to leave and go directly back. And I remember that song "Tuesday's Gone" came on the radio. Leonard Skinner. It's like, and like when they kick into the, like after the orchestra part, and it's like, and I'm sitting there going, what the heck am I doing driving all the way to see this stupid team from Nashville? I was guilty about going. And then all of a sudden, when that solo kicked in, a Dodge Caravan hauling ass at about 92 down 385, Gamecock flags are flying. Kicked it past me right when that is like, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then I woke up, and then that was one of the loudest early kickoffs at Williams-Brice I've been to. We sat in West Lower, and Carolina beat Florida for the first time ever with Spurs. Unbelievable game. And just that experience and kind of reinforcing why. I mean, maybe I'm mentally ill. I don't know. Right. So some may agree.
Problem.
But I've just always had a passion for Carolina and for the people. I didn't know who that person was in that caravan. Boy, they had to get the Bojangles to get the tailgate biscuits right.
That's right.
And it just kind of reinforced that. And then that win, and you kind of knew, Steve Spurrier, pretty good coach, and he hadn't lost it. And then all the Florida people were just crapping all over him for taking the job, and then for him to win it. That was probably one of my favorite days. But you also have to keep in mind, because of my previous employment and things, like I wasn't in town for I was in Nashville the day Carolina beat Georgia 35-7 in 2012. I'd against Alabama in 2010. I'd gone to Las Vegas for work, and so I watched that game in Vegas. So some of those moments that maybe you guys have had, I didn't necessarily get to have. And then a lot of them, my best season, RJ, was probably the 2000 season, because I was in school, and everybody's just kind of feeling down about football, and then all of a sudden they started winning, and you get to talk about bowl games. And at the time, Carolina hadn't been to a bowl in 6 years, and it was good. So that was probably my favorite season. I'll tell you another game, a road game I enjoyed was 2005 as well, when they beat Tennessee in Knoxville. That was a great day. I met a lot of cool people that day. So there we go. Krager's talked to Clint. He's just taking a break for a while. Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I respect he stayed away.
Yeah, he's done.
He told us all that. I'm going to take a
did.
break from the preseason.
Coming off of that crappy baseball season, he's like, I'm out. I need a break.
Yeah. So biggest needs for the recruiting class, TDS for 2027. I think they would definitely like another running back.
Yeah.
I think they'd like another edge, and a defensive tackle. Other than that, who can you flip? Who's good?
Yeah.
If you take best player available, they don't have that many spaces. These guys don't really like if they'll hold space and just hit the portal. I mean, they're not or hit. Some people call it the bargain bin, but I call it the quality leftovers.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Like what they do during the summer. Those are like Thanksgiving leftovers. It's good. They're good stuff.
It's good stuff. That's right. Yeah, it's like senior risers. There's always room for somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison said last season broke a number of folks, and I don't blame them. Good news though is kickoffs are mere 9 days. Yeah, the folks that aren't on board right now that are still kind of skeptical, and I normally I would be like, I don't understand. Look at this. But this year I do.
Yeah.
I do understand. Last year was just tough. So, and I agree. And there's too much going on in the world and in life to invest just time and emotion into something that is going to hurt you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it's up to the Gamecocks to change that. And I don't think it's going to take too long. I really honestly don't. I think Blake says Clint's going to kick off the pregame show in the chat box. It's going to be a party. Absolutely.
Right.
Harrison says the tailgate show is so fun. I won't be able to catch it live next week since I'll be at the stadium, but I'll try my best to be tuned in. Oh, it's okay. It's going to be an early tailgate.
Yeah, we'll do an early one because it's a noon kickoff.
Nooner.
Right? Yeah, we'll get this thing over with. Mm-hmm.
Doc does not like Ricky's. He thinks it's better. Krager asked if the combo comes with an ambulance. Bruin asked if it's like a French dip. No, not really. You just have to try
peppers in it that kind of differentiate it from and the flavoring of the beef is different. Yeah.
So
I'm definitely going to try a combo the next time I'm up there, though. That sounds delightful.
It is very good. Everybody's complaining about what do you guys think about the black gloss helmets? I don't like the matte for some reason, but again, it's just a personal preference.
I don't mind it. I mean, I don't know. It's a uniform, dude.
I like the gloss a little better than the matte.
I like them both. I like the gloss too. I think the gloss will pop like in a night setting and all of that more so than the matte, but that never really bothered me with the matte. I would like to have seen a matte garnet helmet, but they did not do that.
Never did that.
Yeah.
T-Far says he actively asked his wife to go apple picking last year so he wouldn't have to watch the Gamecocks play. Dear God, sir. Did it get that bad, T-Far? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, man. We usually do save that for the bye week around here.
I just don't go apple picking.
Well, we don't go pick. We just go to the orchard and get donuts and
they have this
bag of apples.
I saw it's. I don't get that in South Carolina either because in October it's 85 degrees.
Yeah,
and you're putting flannel on.
No, I mean roll up in there, sports and t-shirt. No, I know what you're saying though. It's like you get your pumpkin spice latte and all that. Guys, I'm not a pumpkin spice guy, so none of this is sounding good to me at all.
Apparently, Sydney Sweeney just broke Instagram. And then Bruin goes, hold on, be right back, Craig.
Hold on, be right back.
Oh, man. Max Grill in Charleston has a legit Italian beef. Thank you, Bobby.
Oh, okay.
And TD, I did read Chris Lowe's article on Beamer, and it is good. It kind of gives us some insight in there, and all that, you know. And I hope someday this is really up to the Gamecocks in the program. I hope that someday everybody that's familiar with Carolina football, you know, doesn't feel the need to rehash that they've never won anything in every article. But the only way to do that is for the program to win and have something tangible to do. Not just win games, not just win 7, not just win 8, but win something. Whether it's making a playoff or whatever. Well, there was an article that, I mean, I think there was it in that one that somebody was quoted as saying, an NFL scout that was saying, you know, if they give Beamer time, he'll have them good every year. And maybe not a national championship, but a playoff contender. I think everybody would take that. So if you become a playoff contender and you make it every year, eventually you can break, you know, then you're at that next level, then you can break through.
Yeah. Hopefully this is this year is the first taste we get of playoff contention.
All right. So we got to all go to Instagram.
Hold on. Do we? Oh my. Okay.
I don't even know, Phil, if we should put it up, dude.
I'm not going to put it on the screen. No, I know.
I'm interested. I am, folks, I am going to tell you whether or not you should.
Whether it's worth your while. I don't want that in my search history.
Oh, really?
Somebody send me a link. Hold on, I can do it.
All right, so here she is. Okay. Oh my. It's an advertisement. Okay, yeah. All right. So anybody whose wife is listening, it's the birthday one. Bobby says, "Good grief." Yeah. Happy birthday to Sydney Sweetie.
Well, anyway, there you go.
All right, so another fun day of talking about Spartanburg, a little bit of Gamecock sports. We need the season to get here, folks, pretty quick.
Yeah, it needs to.
Don't forget fourquarterfriday.com tonight. It's you don't have to have a membership to view this. We'll have the live blog. Bruin, I'm sure we'll be talking about some South Florence and James Island action tonight. About 22 games. I don't understand why they moved half of them, but that's okay. Also tomorrow, we'll have John Strickland on the show, another coffee. Then we get into game week mode, thankfully. I think I've literally run out of things to talk about.
Yeah, we're starting to get like coming back from or heading into the hiatus, right? It's like, I don't know what more there is to say other than spot.
Wait till they play.
Spot them.
I got a few more things to discuss. Maybe we'll talk about Kent. Maybe we'll dig into Kent State or something.
I figure, next week.
We got Matt tomorrow. Matt's got stats.
Yeah, that's true. Matt will come in.
We can always talk about stats.
That's right. Matt is going to have stats.
Yeah. Doc says, thank you. Another wonderful, fun show. Yeah. And sometimes it's good just to cut up for the last hour.
I know. I mean, I guess.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So, anyway, for Phil Mullinax, it's JC Sherbert. It's been everybody's going to Instagram now. They're just
Thanks,
gone.
Bobby.
Steady, sweetie. He's like, I'm buying whatever she's selling. Give me 2. I sent him the link. Yeah. Unbelievable.
It
is what it is.
Yeah,
I can see why everyone is excited.
Indeed.
Shoo, buddy. Anyway, I could say something right now to close the show that would just be not appropriate. So I'm not gonna do it. All you folks have a good one. We'll see you later.